Okay. One of the things I want you guys to do to prepare for some of the upcoming projects we'll work on is today I want you guys to sign up for an Azure account. If you don't have one, you can sign up for one. Um, the process to sign up is very straightforward, and I'll show you where to find the link to sign up because we are going to start learning Azure. So you guys can learn with me. I'm learning Azure for the first time too. And how I am planning to learn it is using our AWS knowledge. So you guys know we've done extensive project in AWS. We have pretty much built our VPC, EC2 instance, and deploy apps on it. We have a reference architecture that we used on AWS to deploy the application. So let me find one of the reference architecture so I can explain the idea that I have for this project. Okay. So when we learned AWS, this is a typical reference architecture we use to deploy our dynamic application. So to learn Azure, we don't really have to do too much. The idea I have, at least how I'll be learning it, is my first goal is to convert this reference architecture to Azure. So whatever this resource mean in Azure, we have to figure out what those resources mean. So what is a VPC called in Azure? What is an EC2 called in Azure? When you set up your network in Azure, do they have the concept of availability zones? Um, if they do, does Azure also have the concept of region and availability zone? And how do you create route tables and subnets in your Azure network? So the first thing is just translating our reference architecture into an Azure reference architecture. Once we've done that, so for those listening, so let me say that again. So our first step is translating our AWS reference architecture into an Azure reference architecture. Once we've done that, then we can start building all the resources we need to build in Azure. So I'm not going to waste too much time trying to learn a bunch of things in Azure. I'm just going to rely on my AWS knowledge and use that knowledge to build the resources in Azure. So I'm pretty sure over time we'll build our knowledge, right? So to start, we'll just convert the reference architecture. And also, yes, we can build the dynamic. I'm really focusing on building the dynamic application, but I think I'll start with the static one first. It is always good the static one always is a good basic app to build to learn things before we move on to the dynamic. So we'll build a static web app, we'll build the dynamic one. Then we'll try to complete those same projects using Terraform to host the application on Azure. So over time, I feel like we'll learn a lot when we do that. So that is the idea I have for this project. At least this is what I'm doing to learn Azure because I figure it's time to learn it. So I'll just be relying more on my AWS knowledge and trying to translate that to Azure. And that we should be working on that in the coming weeks in our private group. So if anyone is interested, you guys can use the link in this video's description to join. And for today, for those of you that are here, and I've already recorded the video on how to sign up for an Azure account. I've recorded the video on how to sign up for an Azure account. I need to edit it and I'll post it for you guys this week. Because the process to sign up includes personal information, I can't create an account here and share that stuff with you. But I'll show you how to get to the link where you can sign up for a free Azure account. For those of you that have worked on AWS, it's pretty much the same concept. Azure, from what I was reading, they also have a free tier account you can use just like AWS, where for 12 months, you get free access to some resources, and they also give you like a $200 credit limit. So I think it is between you either hitting the 12 months or using your $200 limit, whichever one you hit first. What else did I remember from the documentation? Also, Azure has a pay-as-you-go service just like AWS. And what that means is when we start building our project, once we deploy the application and the resources we are using to host the application, we just have to complete the project in a timely manner and delete the resources so we don't get charged. So I didn't look in detail what Azure's pricing for all the resources are, but I've always relied on completing the project in a timely manner and removing the resources when you are done. So for today, I just want you guys to sign up for a free Azure account. To sign up for a free Azure account, in Google, you can type Azure here. And you should see the Microsoft Azure Cloud Computing Service. Select this link, and it is going to bring you to this page. Here, you have the Get Started and you have the Try Azure for free. Now, you also have the same link up here, Get Started with Azure. So if you click this Get Started with Azure, I believe it is going to bring you to this page again where you have the option to try Azure for free. And this is the pay as you go. Once you, the try Azure for free is the free tier one. And once you exceed your limit, I think it is just going to charge you pay as you go, similar to what we have in AWS. So here, you can just click try Azure for free. And let me do that in incognito because I already have an account. So it is, and it's logged into my account here. So let me log out and try that again. No, I'll try that in incognito. So once you're on this page, um, incognito might be a little bit messed up. But once you are on this page, you click try Azure for free. And it will bring you here. On this page, click start free. It is going to load this page. And on this page, you can use your email. On this page, you can sign in with your Microsoft account if you already have a Microsoft account. I have a Microsoft account, but I decided to use a new account for my Azure project. So instead of using my Microsoft account, I just used a new one. So here you have the option to sign in. If you don't have a Microsoft account, you can click create one here. And on this page, it will ask you to create an account. So you can use other email. I think you can, I didn't try it. And for those of you that have signed up before, you can comment on it. Here you can, I'm assuming you can use your Gmail or your Yahoo email to create an account. But I didn't do that. I just click get a new email address here. And that will give me an Outlook address, which is a Microsoft email address. And here you can enter the name. So I'm just going to say AOS notes. So once you enter your email, click next. It is going to ask you for a password here. Once you enter your password, click next. And here, this is from this point on, you'll start filling some personal information. So here you have to enter your country and region and your date of birth. So let me just pick a random one. Right. Once you enter your country and your region and your date of birth, you click next. And on this page, you have to verify that you are not a robot. So click next here. And here, this question is asking you to point this car in the direction of this hand. So you just need to click this arrow. You can click any of this arrow. So you can see the car is now pointing in the direction of the hand, because if I click it one more time, it will be pointing like that. So you just need to point it in the direction of the hand and click submit. So they want me to do that again, try again. I'm just going to click this, point it in that direction, click submit. And I'm going to do this again. When I did it yesterday, it only took one time. I'm not sure why it is asking me over and over again. Okay. I guess maybe I did it twice. I don't remember. But all you have to do is just point the object in the direction the hand is pointing in. Once you complete that puzzle, it is going to load the next page. So on this page, this is where you enter your information. So just fill out your information here and your phone number, your address, check this box and click next, right? Don't worry about this identity verification by card. Just fill out your information here, click next. Once you click next, I believe on the next page, it is going to ask you for your payment. You guys know when you are signed up, you have to put a card on the system. So enter your card information again, and you have to enter. I think you just after next, you just have to agree with whatever the terms and condition is, and at the end, they will ask you to set up multi-factor authentication. So, those are the things you have to fill out. It is pretty straightforward. It is the same way you sign up for any account. But when you guys are signing up, if you have any questions, please let me know. Okay. Okay, Shamika. Yeah, so the steps to sign up is just like you sign up for any account for any service. But if you have any questions, let me know. So for today and the rest of the week, while we are preparing to start building some resources in Azure, you guys can just sign up for a free account. So when we start our project, we can start working on it. That's pretty much it for that one. Does anyone have any question?
You mean a question in relation to the Azure?
Yes, like in relation to this signing up and pretty much what I've just said, if you guys have any question. With many accounts, with different emails. With Azure, it doesn't work. It does not work. Yeah. So Titus is saying like with AWS, you can create as many accounts with your email. You know how when you guys have one account, you can leave that account and use an email to create another one. But it's saying in Azure, it doesn't work that way. that once you create an account, they give you the $200 limit. And once you exceed that $200 limit, then you are just on the pay as you go plan. So he's saying it's not like AWS where you can create as many accounts as you want. So something to keep in mind. And but with anything, it's nothing you really have to worry about. Pay as you go just means that you complete your project on time and you remove your resource.
Even now, I don't think you can create as many accounts as you want in AWS because they try to track it with your name,
Payment system.
and
Mhm.
yeah, you try to track it that you can be create multiple accounts like previously.
Yes, I'm pretty sure they have a way to track it.
Yeah.
They can probably track it with your name, your
Yeah.
payment
Yeah.
system, your IP address, and all those
Yes.
things.
They track those.
Yeah.
They track them now. You can't do that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. It's been a while since I've been using the same AWS account for since I started, so I haven't created as many accounts. So you guys just try to keep your account in good standing. If the main thing is as you are working on your projects, once you are done, try to remember to delete the resources that you used to work on the project.
Okay.
So we'll only be creating the resources when we will create the resources manually the first time we are learning how to configure a service. But once you've configured the service and you understand how to create it manually, when you start using Terraform, it makes it easy because with Terraform, you can just delete the resources you created, which even me, I'm not even taking my own advice. I'm not sure if that backup project we talked about 2 weeks ago, I'm not sure if I've even deleted those resources. So I need to check that after this. But at least with Terraform, you can easily run Terraform destroy to remove the resource. So with the Azure project, I'm not going to, it is not, it is something that I'll work with you guys with privately. Maybe once we work on it together, the video, I'll edit the video to make it more straightforward and I would leave it somewhere for you guys to have access to. It wouldn't be a video that I would include. Maybe I'll create a space where I'll just include it. It will just be an additional one because it takes time to edit all the videos, trying to make sure the information is up to date. And I don't want to overwhelm myself with having to update AWS video and Azure video. For me, I really just want to focus more on the AWS. Then for the Azure one, for those of you guys that are new, whenever you get to the Azure project, you've done your AWS, you know, you've completed all the projects in AWS, you know what you are doing. When you are ready to work on Azure, we can revisit it again and work on the project. So for the Azure project, I would prefer to work on those projects live with you guys as opposed to the recording one. So that's pretty much it for the information I have for this project. Um, um, what else? I mean, there's some. Shit,
Sorry.
right. Go
What
ahead.
what are we what like I don't know if you mentioned it, but what are we looking to like deploy slash build on Azure?
Oh yeah. So I mentioned it before you came in. So
Oh,
I
okay.
we are going to use our dynamic web app to we are going to use our dynamic web app pretty much. So the reference architecture for our dynamic web app that we deployed in AWS, we are just going to deploy the same dynamic web app in Azure. So I feel if you understand how to deploy it in AWS and how to deploy it in Azure, you pretty much have a good under that would that will give you a good understanding of at least how to deploy an app in Azure, because this was how I started learning AWS as well. Then we can also, once we've deployed the dynamic web app using they call in AWS, we have management console. In Azure, it's called Azure Portal. Once we've deployed in the Azure Portal, then we would complete it using Terraform. So that way you'll understand how to deploy it, the same app on Azure using Terraform. Then once we've done that, we can also try to complete the Docker project on Azure. What is ECR called in Azure? Building our Docker image, pushing it to their registry. What is their ECS called? Trying to deploy a container in Azure. So, I mean, just pretty much similar things we did with the dynamic web app on AWS.
Yeah.
We just have to duplicate that same process on Azure. So I think once we do that, it will cover a lot on just having a good understanding on Azure. So that I really want to keep it as basic as that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Yeah. So the next thing I wanted to share with you guys, I know I shared it with you guys a couple of maybe last month or 2 months ago. But since then my strategy has changed and I want to make you guys aware of it. But this is more of like has to do with how I'm investing, right? But this is the point where I ask for you guys permission to speak, right? So I don't want to share that information with you guys unless you guys want me to. I mean, some people that I talk to privately, they always ask me this question all the time. So how are you when you are beyond your 9 to 5 job, how are you leveraging your cloud computing skills, or how are you using whatever you are earning to make more money, right? So that's where I got the whole idea of even sharing it with you guys. So, and for me, I'm always a little bit hesitant to share those type of information, but I care to share with you guys because ultimately what I'm trying to do and what I feel we are trying to do is get to the point. I don't want to do 90. I love AWS and I think I will continue working as a cloud engineer, but I don't want to work as a cloud engineer because I have to. It should be at some point, it has to be something I just enjoy doing. So I'm doing it because of that. So what I'm trying to say is I really don't want to be in a 9 to 5 forever. So my ultimate goal is to get to the point where I am making enough. Through AWS and my cloud computing skills, I've built enough assets that can pay for my lifestyle that I don't have to rely on 9 to 5. That's my ultimate goal. So while I'm working on that goal, I like to share with those around me, and some couple of people that have gotten job in the group always ask me. So that's why I'm sharing with you guys here too. So if I have you guys permission to share, I can go ahead and show you guys what I'm trying to show you.
Go ahead, please.
Okay. So you guys remember the last time when I said that someone asked me how I was investing my money and I told you guys that I was doing index fund, right? Since then, I've changed that whole strategy. So for the longest time, I was buying index fund, which there is nothing wrong with it. It is much safer because it has a combination of different stocks. And the one I bought, which is this one, this Vanguard fund, has about 3,000 stocks in it. And I was using this, I was pretty much, whenever I get paid, I only allocate whatever I need to pay my bill in my account. The rest, I just put it in this fund, and it was working well. So and I think one thing that also happened is there was a time where I was making money every week. So I had more money to buy this fund. But what happened is sometimes when you, at least for me, because I was making money so frequent, I was buying this fund, and over time, I realized that this strategy, at least for me now, at my age, I want to be a little bit more aggressive. This fund it will be called aggressive, but it's not aggressive enough in terms that it makes money very slow, but you won't lose your money. And I can show you guys the chart, but it makes money very slow. So what I did is when I told you guys I lost one of my job, and I think that was the reason. Now I see the reason why I lost that job, because if I hadn't lost the job, I wouldn't have shifted my mindset would have shifted from my investment strategy to what it is now. So when I lost that job, I was looking for a way to replace that income. So then I just realized that instead of buying the index fund, I can just buy the stocks in the companies themselves that the funds is investing in. So when I look at the history of some of these stocks, right, companies like Amazon, Nvidia, um, Google, Apple, right? If you look at their stock price 2 years ago, they always go up. So my new strategy is just that when you look at any good company, the first thing is you have to just pick a good company. And if you don't know any company to start with, you can start with the top 7 companies, which are Amazon, Google, Apple, Nvidia, Tesla, and Microsoft. There's 7 of them. If you don't know any company, and Meta, if you don't know any companies to buy, start with those companies. You won't lose money with them. But the thing is, you just have to be willing to put your money in there and wait a long time. So it won't be something you can buy today and want to sell tomorrow. So you just have to be willing to buy it now, and in the long run, you'll make money. So another strategy is that once, let's say the companies are going up, their stock price is growing, is going up like that, you can wait for a day where, because sometimes they go up, then they go back down. You can wait for a day where the company goes down, then you can choose that day to buy. And for any money you are making as a cloud engineer or all your incomes, you can put it in your savings account or whatever account you want to put them in. And then whenever the stock goes down, then you buy more. So over time, you will be buying it at a good average price. So they call it dollar cost average, meaning that instead of you buying it when it goes up, you buy it when it goes down. And when it goes back up, you make more money. So I'm telling you guys to say that I'm saying this beyond cloud computing. For me, when I'm saying I'm mentoring you guys, um, I want to give you guys the whole package of exactly what I'm doing, because for me, the goal is to be financially free. And there will come a point once you guys get your job, you also have to think about this part. Because trust me, I've been doing cloud computing for a couple of years. I enjoy it, and I actually love working as a cloud engineer. But for me, the goal is to be financially free. And 2 months ago, when I got fired from one of my job, this is what gave me the peace of mind to still be able to take care of my family, because I really don't have to rely on a job to pay my bills. And that is all based on that came from leveraging my cloud computing skills and whatever money I was making in there, or I was using the skills to make more money, and I invest the money in the stock market. So I see it as a 3-step thing. You build your skills. So the first one is you build your skills. Then you use the skills to make money. Then once you make the money, don't start buying things. At least that's what I'm doing. I'm not buying any luxury items or anything. Develop your skills, use the skills to make money. And once you make the money, invest the money in the stock market. So when I lost my job 2 months ago, I just had, imagine getting fired and you smiling. I was smiling because I just had the peace of mind, because I know I don't have to worry about how I'm going to pay my mortgage. I'll be honest with you guys. The funny thing is, My manager, I used to have my one-on-one with him. He would ask me question about, oh, so how is your house coming along? He knew I just bought a house. He knew my wife was pregnant. He knew my wife is pregnant. So here I am. I just bought a house. My wife is pregnant, and I these are two of the main responsibilities that I have, and he didn't even give me a heads up or anything. All I know is they just called me to schedule my one-on-one at 9 a.m., which is very odd because we usually have a one-on-one at 1 p.m. around that time. 9 a.m. and I'm trying to log into the meeting. I see that the HR lady is there, and they just like, oh yeah, today is your last day. We are cutting budget, and your position is one of the position we cut off, right? So, but I was smiling because I was just like, okay. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, that's fine, or whatever. I was like, yeah, sure, right? But what gave me the peace of mind to be able to do that, and I know I probably sound like a broken record now, right? I keep telling you guys that I am not smarter than you guys. I'm telling you, I started from really, really ground zero. It's just based on effort. You have to look for information. Once you find the information, you have to execute on the information. That's the only thing that has guided me to this point, which is why I'm sharing it with you guys, because I really wish someone shared this information with me when I was in college, when I graduated from college and out to now. Like everything I'm sharing with you guys is something I'm just realizing. Even with this, my new investment strategy is something I just discovered after I lost my job, and I was pondering on how I can increase my income since one of my source of income was gone. So my 9 to 5 wasn't the only source of income I have. So since that was taken away, I was thinking about ways to make more money. And that was how I came on this investment strategy. So what I did is I took all my money out of this index fund because that was where all my money was in. And I have multiple stock portfolio, but one of the main one was this one. So I took my money out of here, and I waited for days where some of these companies was down, and I bought them. Like I bought Nvidia right before they split, around the time they had their earnings call. But so this is my watch list now. These are the companies that I end up buying. Well, not this Broadcom. I didn't buy this Broadcom. I just added this one. Um, I just added the Broadcom um, yesterday because I found out about them. So let me remove this. So Broadcom is not part of the companies I'm investing in because they're too expensive for me at this point. But if they go down at some point, I will consider buying them. So these are the companies that I'm currently investing in, and I'll show you guys the difference. So since I started investing in this company, let me, you guys will see the difference, which I'm trying to tell you guys, right? You guys shouldn't look at investing as something that only rich people do. I'm telling you guys, I'm just like you guys. I work 9 to 5 too. And if I can invest and I'm seeing the result, I just wish it was something someone shared with me a long time ago. So I would have been far ahead from where I am now. But I'm still thankful nonetheless. That's why I'm sharing it with you guys, right? So you guys remember this chart when I shared it with you guys the last time, right? This this is pretty much how much I was getting in return from this portfolio. You can see from up to this point, up to this point, I was investing in index fund. So the index fund, this is how much return the index fund was making every month, whatever is here. So you can see here in 2023, I made 11,000. Then I lost money for 3 months. But you always make money. So even if you lose money, just it's a good time to buy that month. You just buy more of it because eventually you'll make money. You guys can see that I've always made more money than I lost. Then I made money here, here, here. right? But you can see the amount I was making. I think on this month, it was where I made the most I've ever made. So after I lost my job and I sold my index funds and I bought the companies that I was showing you on my watch list. And remember I said it was 2 months ago, right? You can see. And the month of June, that was how much I made. It was more than I ever made in any of the months buying index fund. And we are already in July and we are only halfway, and this is how much I've made so far. And that is just from one portfolio. And all the money that I've invested here I can assure you guys that 100% of the money I made from being a cloud engineer, all of it. Some of it I was doing 10% on my company, the companies that I worked for before. I always did 10% of the 401k or whatever. So when I left, I will have enough. Some of them I had a lot of money. I'll just take the money and add it to my portfolio, whatever I had. So now I understand that had it been I wasn't fired from my job, I would have continued doing what I was doing, which is investing in my index fund because I was making money in other ways. So I really didn't care too much about, for me, this was a good enough money. But then when I lost my source of income and I was looking for another way to make money, that was when I decided to switch my whole investment strategy. So this is how it is working for me so far. And if it is something you guys are interested in, you have to, you can take a screenshot. I mean, collect this. You can take a screenshot of my watch list. These are all the companies I'm investing in now. If you guys want, I can create a group where I would put, because I don't want to distract people from, for those of you that are still in the beginning stages and learning, I don't want to distract you guys from that. But for those of you that are already got a job and you are looking to invest your money, these are the companies that I'm currently investing in. And if I add another company at any time, I'll share with you guys. And how I found this company is not because I don't know anything about investing or anything, but I know some basic companies here that will always be around. They've been around for over 10 years. They'll always be around. We use them every day. Amazon, the company that changed my life, right? So I use AWS every day. You guys shop on Amazon. It is a no-brainer to buy Amazon stock. It is a no-brainer. I keep buying it and I bought more. I keep buying more of this Amazon. Before I switched my whole investment strategy, I always had Amazon stock that I bought. And so but now I just keep buying more of it. So this makes sense to buy. Google is another company. You can go search for anything online without using Google. They own YouTube. It makes sense to buy them, right? Apple, everyone loves iPhone. It makes sense to buy them. Nvidia is another good company. They've been around for a very long time. So if you guys know all the video games and the computers, the graphics card that the computers use that makes them be able to process information faster and all that thing, Nvidia kind of makes it. Now the AI has made their company much popular, but I knew about them many years ago when when I was a CAD designer. We need computers that can render the image faster, and NVIDIA was the company that sell the graphics card we used. So basically, for some of the companies, you guys see them every day, you use them, they are safe. You just have to be looking to invest in them for a long time. So, and when they go down, that is an opportunity to buy more. Don't freak out and sell your position and think you're going to lose your money. You just wait for it to go down, and on the day when they go down, you buy more of them. And that's pretty much what I've been doing. Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah, sure, great.
So what is like the advisable capital to start with?
I would say start with, see, I don't want to say you because I started with 0. So I'm not gonna say start with, and I'm not going to say put a amount on it. But what I would say now, what I would say is start with your savings, right? I'll say anywhere from like 20,000, right? But start with your savings. If you don't have any savings, try to save. For now, don't even try to buy any of this company. Like if you have a bunch of capital now, don't go today and start buying these stocks, right? Because you can see yesterday they are all green. They are making money, but they always go down at some point. Like the day before yesterday, all of this was red. Each one of these was at least Tesla was $20 down, and a lot of this company was like $5 to $10 down. Amazon was all all week, and last week Amazon was at $200, and last week, I mean 2 days ago, it went down to 194. So if I had money, I'll consider buying Amazon at this price because it will still go up. And if it goes down after you bought it here, then you buy more. That is one of the beauty of buying and holding for the long run. Because how much do you think Amazon stock will be worth 2 years from now? It is going to be more than what it is now. So for your capital, I'll just say keep saving and have it start with a watch list and keep saving your money. And when you see that a company that is in your watch list is down on a particular day, then buy. Just say you can say, you know what, I'm going to buy 5 shares today, 10 shares today. Then over time you would have built your position in all the companies. Does that make sense? So it's not about having like 200,000 and just putting it in it. It's something you build over time.
Yeah, I think it's more like dollar cost averaging.
Yeah.
Where it goes
So
down.
yeah, the only reason why I was able to switch to all these companies, buying all these companies so fast was because I was doing my dollar cost average on the index fund. So I just pretty much took all the money out of my index fund and reallocated it to the stocks. Oh, thank you, Adewale. It's fine. No, so Adewale is saying sorry about my job loss. So you guys shouldn't feel, look, it's part of life, which is why I'm sharing this information with you guys, right? I'm telling you guys, I was hesitant to say it before, but now I'm not afraid to say it. I'm saying that the only thing you guys owe anybody and any company is working hard, right? When they pay you for something, work hard, do your job, do what they pay you for. But I've always said it, you should not be loyal to any company beyond that. If they pay you for something, do the best you can do and do your job, right? But anything outside of that, you should be loyal to yourself. Get as many jobs as you can get. That if you can do 2 jobs, do it. Don't even listen to anyone that's trying to tell you, oh yeah, you can work 2 jobs, this and this. No, do as many jobs as you can do. You can use your weekends to, there are some AWS job. I had an AWS job one time where I was monitoring the system and it was a night and weekend job. I was doing that for a while, right? Be loyal to yourself. Do as many jobs that you can do, but do your job very well. But you guys get what I'm saying, because the point of building your AWS skills is to be able to leverage it and use it for other things. The goal we are all trying to do is to be financially free. So see your AWS skills as something you can leverage beyond a 9 to 5. You guys are smart. Just be creative. You can mentor people. Um, you can write blogs where if you build your platform to a point where you can monetize it, right? There's so many things you can do, but be loyal to yourself. Try to leverage your cloud computing skills in other ways where you can make money from it, because having one job is not just it. So Just have to be loyal to yourself and put yourself first and do what is best for you. And when you start making as much money as you want to make, the next step is to invest it. Like when I'm showing you this chart, imagine let me
Aziz, I just want to ask a quick question,
go ahead.
but I need your thought. So I have this friend that was saying something about investing in S&P and stock and all this stuff like that. He said something about investment in this kind of platform means you need to have a considerable amount of capital, like something substantial. Let's say, perhaps, like you mentioned, maybe to 20K. But he was like, well, if you really want to make good money from this investment, you probably need to start with 100K plus. And unless you have something saved, and let's say you hit this big jackpot from crypto investment or maybe inheritance, his mentality about that is just how how much patience do you have to invest in S&P to reap the benefit, like you, for instance. So we're just talking, and he was like, well, you shouldn't consider that. Maybe you should consider for something that will 10x your investment in a very short amount of time, and you can now come back to like S&P and invest. So those were what he was saying. I didn't buy the idea, but I just needed to chip
Okay.
in and see your thoughts. Yeah.
Okay.
Can I
Yeah.
chime in? Can
Yeah,
I
go
chime
ahead.
in?
Go ahead,
Okay.
Wayne.
As a spring, can you open the link that I put in the chat?
Sure.
This link chat.
Yeah, I'm opening now. Just a second. Let me drag it to the screen. Why is my computer slowing down? Okay, so there you go.
Okay, you have ad. So do you have an ad blocker? Because okay, no,
I don't have ad blocker.
I don't have a blocker. Okay, yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
my computer is just slowing. Let me. It's normally is. I need to replace this one. Let me refresh. There you go.
okay, perfect. So these are all so S&P 500 is basically 500 of the largest US companies, and we have to, look at what, you know, uh, most of the biggest companies in the world are basically in the US. And if you actually look at, and it tells you what the portfolio, the percentage of how they've allocated the distribution of money in the funds. One thing that I always recommend for starters is just buy the S&P 500 just to start. It helps you to understand, okay, and then you look at your portfolio and say, okay, you can do it on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, just put money in and actually understand what made the S&P 500 go up today, what made the S&P 500 go down today. When you and another thing is they actively take out some companies and bring in some companies. So if it comes, I know they have a criteria where if a company has not made a certain amount over 3 consecutive quarters, they take them out. But it's essentially the biggest 500 companies. Another thing I like to do with the S&P is I try and find companies where one, every other company on this list depends on. So, for example, there are 500 companies on this list, and I can pretty much tell you that at least 499 of them use a Microsoft product. At least, everyone who works at this company probably have a Facebook, Instagram, they, ads. Eli Lilly it's probably the biggest drug company in the world. The average person probably needs medication at some point. If you look Berkshire Hathaway, that's what's his name?
Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett. If you dig deeper into it, a lot of insurance companies, a lot of like traditional companies, he holds a lot of them in that fund. You can see things like Costco, Visa, like the average transaction. I can't remember. I saw a stat that says I think out of every $1 that's spent on the internet, at least I think 50 to 60 cents of it goes through Visa. And we charge fees on that. So if you look at so that's how you start to spot, okay, you know what, when you understand how this fund is calculated, then you can start to invest in them individually. So, okay, you know what, I like the fact that Apple is on this list. Or I remember when they added Nvidia to S&P 500, it took time because it took a very long time. And when they added them, that's when a lot of people actually said, okay, you know what, there's a new company on this list. What does this company do? You research it. And then that's when you can spot the early the early risers or the companies. Some companies have been there since they started, like Apple and Co. They've been there. But if you scroll down the list, you see that there are newer companies. There's another way to find like the latest additions. I think they added a company recently called CrowdStrike.
CrowdStrike, yeah.
Yep.
CrowdStrike, yeah.
And I was doing research on CrowdStrike. I think that,
Cybersecurity.
yeah, cybersecurity. So it's things like that you can spot early. So, okay, what makes them different from the average cybersecurity firm on your? Why did S&P 500 add them? Is it a company that will be here for on this list for a very long time? And then that's where you can say, okay, what, this is an investment opportunity. I'll add to it. You can see some startups like Intuit is probably not, Intuit is probably not up to 15, 20, 15, 10 years, but I'm pretty sure when they added him to this list, a lot of people jumped on it. So it shows you, some people would have jumped on Uber at the time when they added him to this list. And that's how you can, like, I can't remember who spoke earlier. That's how you can spot the early risers
Yeah.
and then hit that potential jackpot of, okay, you invested, you had $1,000 in it, but it 10x over a period of time, and then you continue buying and things like that. So it's a good way to spot what the next big company would be, as opposed to, because again, people made money from the stock market before crypto, right? And people would always make money after crypto. It took a lot of time before even some of the big believers to even understand what crypto is. But yeah, this is a good way to find the next big thing. I like
I
looking at
agree.
that snapshot. Yeah.
I agree. So Ahmed, there are funds that can tracks the S&P 500, and different brokerage firms has their own funds that is tracking the S&P 500. So when you are asking the first question about how much capital do you need, right? You really don't need that much of a capital. I agree with Wahab 100%. Over time, this fund has always returned anywhere from 8 to 12% annually, right? So just buy one. That was what I did. I started with index fund. I just bought a fund, the Vanguard one, and they have a lot of good companies. If all these companies, something was to happen to this fund, which means that something would be happening to all these companies in this fund, right? So if it is affecting this fund in a way, in a drastic way, it will be affecting you, whether you are invested in these funds or not, because it means something is going on in the economy, right? So investing in funds like this is a safer route. Then once you have built your money in that way, then if you want to focus on individual stocks, you can focus on individual stocks. I agree with Wahab 100%. So to answer your question, I don't agree with what your friend is. I get what your friend is saying, but I don't agree with it. As someone that has been, I've tried different investment strategies, and I can tell you the one that works. So which one have I tried? I've tried crypto. I've tried investing in penny stocks, and now I just started doing options trading, and I've tried buying, and holding shares. And I can tell you that out of the four, the only one that's working for me, which is where I showed you guys my return, is when the ones I've bought and I've held for a long time. When I was doing crypto, I can't even tell you guys how much I lost in crypto. I had an account that had over 15,000 in it. The company shut down. The money was gone. I bought a bunch of coins, and I also invested in companies that was mining the coins. I lost all the money. I'm talking about anywhere from, I lost track, because I don't even know how to track how much I lost in my Coinbase, um, crypto.com, and Voyager was the one that they even shut down, and I couldn't withdraw my money. Probably somewhere between 150 and 200,000 I lost, because that year, every single money I was making, I was just buying crypto stuff. So crypto is one of the ways they say you can make money very fast. And I'm telling you that if you have a mindset of trying to make money very fast, you can also lose your money very fast too. Like in a blink of an eye, you can lose 10, 20,000. And since crypto is not really that regulated, a company can come and just shut down, and all your money is in there. You guys go and look at the FTX story and see what happened there. I lost like money. Some people lost millions, you know. So I don't agree with trying to find somewhere right now to 10x your money. People that stumbled on an investment opportunity that they were in investment and the company happened to go up. Sometimes that happens. That just means that when you are investing, you just have to be in investing to have that opportunity. Like for example, those that were investing in Nvidia before Nvidia had the run, they benefited from it. But it's not something anyone can predict or anyone can time. The only thing that I see that works is buying it for the long run. And if the company has a pullback, just buy more. Yes, don't try to look for a place where you try to 10x your money, because that's the fastest way to lose your money. I told you when I did the crypto that year, I probably lost between 150,000 to 200,000. When I lost my job, so you guys see on my return here, really when I had this 11,000 loss, right? This was when I was trying to do penny stocks. So after I was like, okay, you know what? After I lost my job, like around, I think I lost my job in May. I was like, okay, I need to look for ways to make money. I have a friend that does penny stocks. He makes money from it. So I said, let me try it. I lost pretty much, I lost about probably 10 to 15,000 trying to do penny stocks. Then after that, that's why I said, you know what? I'm just going to buy real companies that I know has good values. Then that's when I started a new strategy, right? And even if you do options, you can make money in it, but you have to be very smart and know what you are doing. You know, I don't want to get into the whole thing, but it's just something you have to be. People make money from options, but you have to know what you are doing. So I mean, my advice
Yeah.
is wait for the at least have your solid portfolio that is trying to build, that you are using to build your stable future, where you are trying, the portfolio you are trying to use to exit your 9 to 5 lifestyle. Have that portfolio for the long run and invest in valuable companies in that portfolio. Then if you want to try penny stocks on the side, or I'll say don't even do penny stocks, try options is better. If you want to do options on the side, learn it. You can make some money there on a daily basis. Like the other day, my options thing, I only bought 2 contracts of Nvidia and what's the other one? TSM, and I made 21,200 for the day. So you can make, but I've also lost money in options too. But I've seen that you just have to know what you are doing. So if you're looking for other things on the side of a way to make income, you can try options. But don't save all your money. Let's say you say 20,000 now. Don't be trying to 10x that money in 1 week, because then you can lose all that money in like 3 days. You understand? Make sure all the money you've saved, you invested in something valuable. Then maybe put 1,000 on the side, and you can say this 1,000, I'll start trading options with it, and I'll see what I can grow this amount to. So that's what I'll say. But I say your friend is wrong. The goal is for the long run. Where would you, God's willing, we'll all be here 3-4 years from now. Where would you be 3-4 years from now if you start now? You'll be somewhere. Trust me. All these companies may increase in value, even would have 10x. Some of them may 10x in 3 years, but you can't get that 10x in one day or a month. It's not realistic. And anyone that's telling you that you can 10x your money in like a month, you should run. That's what everyone is looking for in crypto. I lost a lot of money in crypto. My friend that we were doing it together, he also lost a lot of money in crypto. So that's what I'll say. Yeah, Sean, go ahead. I know you were trying to say something.
No, I was just going to add to that and say that, the S&P 500 is designed with the 500 biggest companies in pretty much the world. So, like you said, if they fail, then we got a serious problem bigger than like any of us can really deal with.
Exactly.
But Bitcoin and some of these other markets, they're kind of like emerging markets, so they unstable. You know, if you got on earlier, you probably could have won, like, but no one really knows who's going to be the winner. Seems like Big One will be the one that actually succeeds. But yeah, I mean, like, I was reading something the other day about NVIDIA, like the last 3 years, they went up like something like 200%. And like Amazon, if you had got on and like, you know, AWS like 2006 when it launched, you would have made like hundreds of millions of dollars. But it's kind of like one of the things like the reason why I don't think that that guy's recommendation is not solid is because that's how, you know, everybody that is with a company, that's how they invest. Like every week you're putting money from your check into investments when you're in a 401k or a pension plan or et cetera, et cetera. And you're not taking large amounts of money doing that. You're just putting money in over time to save up for your retirement. So you don't necessarily need to save $20,000 and then try to 10x it. You
Exactly.
just over long periods of time, you just invest in and you invest in stable companies that are continue to grow and expand and you know come up with different ideas and that's how you ultimately can win. I mean that's what Warren Buffett and all some of the best ones that tell you that actually are doing some of this other stuff. They tell people that the everyday person is just to continue to you know invest in safe, stable companies over a long period of
All the
time,
time.
and
Yeah.
that's how you will succeed. So that's
Yeah.
all I want to say.
Yeah.
Spot on.
Yeah. Thank you, Yashan. Yeah. So, I mean, they've said it, and from what I've tried to, investing in the company, a valuable company for the long run will always win. And I think there's a statistic of like 90% of people, or probably higher than that, that tries to do day trading and try to time the market always lose their money. You can never time the market or beat the market or know when these things will go up and down. Certainly, if there's a news can drive a stock price up or down. But even if you look at this S&P 500, if you pick just the top 10, right, which you can see the top 7 here, even if you pick the top 7 company and invest in them over a long period of time, you will always come out on the winning side, always, as opposed to trying to look for an opportunity right now to 10x your money. So don't make that mistake. Trust me, I've tried to do that and I've lost a lot of money. And even if you see an opportunity that you think will 10x and you want to try, let it be your throwaway money. Don't let it be, don't invest all the money you've saved. It could be like a money you have on the side that you are using to play to see if you can double it. Let it be your throwaway money and have limit. And even if you want to go with that, also as you are planning to try to 10x that money in like a short amount of period, also have a exit strategy that in investing we use stop loss, which is something I'm learning with my options to start using. Sometimes if you lose a good amount, if you lose some money, it's good. It's a good hint to exit. Don't try to say, you know what, put more money in it and say, you know what, I would make the money over time. You can only do that if you are investing in valuable companies like Amazon, Google. If they go down, always buy more of them because they will go back up. I tell you, Amazon, I told you guys I've always had Amazon in my portfolio. In 2022, Amazon went from 120 something to 98 or $89. I bought it at 89. And that was in 2022. So it's taking Amazon from 2022 at $98 or $89. I can't remember, but I know it was definitely $100. It took Amazon 2 years, right, to come back to this level. So you just have to be patient. That's what I was saying. So
Yeah, totally.
okay. Yeah.
But
So
please, let me ask you a
go ahead.
question real quick. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I'm listening to you.
No, I was gonna ask you.
Your mic is breaking a little bit. I can't hear you now.
Not now I was gonna say, what's your thoughts on with them doing rate cuts with the feds in September possibly? Because
I'd say,
the market is
yeah,
doing well, but also
I really
the
don't.
labor, we had so many jobs increasing. So they're talking about doing cuts with them cutting. They like to borrow more money and invest more money and expand the businesses. So that's likely to improve their stock portfolios.
Yeah. See, and I don't. Sometimes like I said, my investment strategy is very basic and simple. I'll just watch a bunch of reputable people that have a YouTube channel talk about that. They don't try to sell you something. They just tell you about some companies and the value. So I have some channels that I've subscribed to over time that I listen to them. And when they talk about a company, I just try to do a research on them. But you can think about if they do rate cut and that affects the economy, it might affect the economy in a good way where maybe more people will have more money to invest now. Because I think that is part of what is affecting companies like Nike now. That's part of what is affecting companies like Nike, because you guys can see, I think people are just not buying shoes because since everything is so expensive, everyone is just trying to save their money and nobody is really buying things like that. You can say in 1 month, Nike is down like 22%. 6 months, it is down 27%. And year to date, it is down 31%. So I think all these things is happening because a lot of these retail companies where these are money people use to buy shoes and things like that. And if everyone is trying to save their money for something else, then it will definitely affect the sales of this company. But for me, I just try to listen to people that know more about economics, talk about what the Fed is doing and how it affects the stock market. I really don't know too much about it, but I know obviously things being expensive, people want any of like the retail companies like Nike, Under Armour, it would affect them directly because then people would probably buy less of their product if they are trying to save money.
So, as is, for instance, apparently with Nike's current price, let's say 2 years from now, perhaps it should have doubled.
It might go up, yes. So if you want to buy Nike at this point, because this is actually a good deal because this company is, I see this as on sale, right? Because it is gone down so much this year. At some point in the long run, they may go back up. So I don't know too much. I'm not into like Nike shoes or the Jordan brand and stuff like that. So I don't know much about Nike and the economy and things like that. So I have this on one of my watch lists, but I'm just looking at it for now. I haven't bought it. But eventually, when they come down, they always go up. Always. So, and Nike is a company that would be around for a very, very long time. So at least for me, I would just stick to whatever is in this S&P 500. If you really want to be on the safe side, right? Whatever they have here, start with those companies. And you can research companies here and see how much they've gone down. Maybe that would be a good time to buy. If you guys even think about it, Warren Buffett was one of the richest man in America. He didn't buy Apple. They said he didn't buy Apple stock until like 30 years after the company was around. So sometimes it's good to wait for companies that has been proven that they have good product and you pretty much know their business model, they will always be around to invest in them. It is better than trying to time a company that you think is going to go up. I mean, Apple stock would actually, one of the guys I follow is actually saying buying it now, but I'm not buying it because I'd rather just invest in my watch list what I have here. So anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you guys as you are working towards your goal. Also, invest. It goes hand in hand with everything we are doing with tech. You make a lot. The reason why I like being a cloud engineer and working in this field is because I don't know any other field where you have the potential to make a lot of money in 1 year, which can open you up to invest in it. In 1 year, if you have one job, try to get another job. Even if it's like a job you would do on weekends, or there are some cloud jobs you can do on weekends, some cloud jobs you can do after hours, right? You just have to look for them. You get another job. Whatever, if you're talking about trying to raise capital faster, that's one of the ways you can do it. Let's say you get one job, that job pays your bills, your lifestyle. Your second job, just store all those money away. Don't even try to increase your lifestyle and try to enjoy that money. Just save that money away. And imagine if you do that 6 months to a year, you will have capital somewhere that you can now put in the stock market. That was exactly what I did. During COVID, there was a time where I had 3 jobs. I don't always tell you guys to get 3 jobs because I'm not trying to tell you guys to just go get jobs, but I'm saying within your own comfort level, whatever you feel you can do, do it. So during COVID, when all jobs was remote, I had about 3. Mainly, I only had 3 because I can do 2 jobs comfortably, 2 consulting job comfortably. Then my third job was a night shift job. So I monitored the system at night, and it was a night and weekend job. So that was how I had 3. But I can do 2 comfortably during the day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if someone could get a night job, that would be nice.
Yeah.
But how do you tend to manage projects that seem to be a little bit difficult? Let's say, of course, the way you said it one time that although we work 9 to 5, but we should see ourselves as consultants,
Mm.
meaning even if it takes us till 2 a.m., 3 a.m. to get a job done. So let's say you have 2 jobs. So how do you get to like bypass situations where you're handling a project that proven to be very difficult and you have to go a little bit extra time to finish one, and probably you have another job that is giving you that tough time. Like, how do you go about managing these kind of situations? And
Uh,
obviously, you don't want to get broken down because of that.
yeah. So every job is different. I've seen, I've always just been very lucky to have jobs where um always demand my time. And I've seen people that have jobs where they don't really, whatever they have to do is very minimal, right? So, but for me, I spend a lot of time in the evening and on the weekends. That's when I would do most of my job. So that way during the week, I'm focusing on attending meetings and doing all the little things that I need to do. I'm still sh showing up during the regular call hours for the business, but I do a lot of my work at nights and on the weekends. That's when I do a lot of my work. So, I mean, just gauge it, see how stressful the work is for you. And if it's a project that is very stressful, another thing that remember I told you guys be loyal to yourself. Another thing that people in the tech world do is they move around a lot. If this job is stressing you out, look for another one. Look for another one. You can always do that. In the tech field, people actually don't wait around that much. People move around within, they say the average month is like 6 months to a year. So you can, while you're on your job, you can keep looking, network, meet other people. And if you get a better opportunity with those people, just don't stay loyal to anybody. Do what is best for you. So for me, what I always do is just work on night, I do a lot of my work at night and on the weekend. I'm a boring guy, so I'm always home. So I do my work at night and weekend. So but you'll be able to time your schedule, what works for you. And if a company's position is stressing you very much, you can leave. I've left a job before that the guy was stressing me so bad. I went in there as I look, tomorrow is my last day. I don't think I can take a day more of the stress. And that was a job that was paying me 150,000, and I left. And I had another job where my manager was doing the same, trying to micromanage me, and it became stressful. And I also left that job too. And I just gave them my 2 weeks notice and I left. So you are allowed to do that.
Aziz,
Yes, sir.
Please, why do you have to give them two weeks notice when they can just ask you to leave the following day?
Exactly. I mean, is I guess on our end is a professional way to do that, right? But I agree with you. 2 weeks notice is up to you. If you want to leave tomorrow, just tell them today's my last day. I'm done. You know, and look, every company I've left is been behind me. People always talk about burning bridges. Look, there's a good chance you're not going to end up back there. There's so many jobs, but I'm just saying, like, don't don't be a jerk going out either. Even if they are pissing you off, try to be professional, even though they are not professional when they do it. They almost treat you like a criminal. One time I got fired from my job, I've gotten fired like 3 times. And I'm someone that I don't even do anything, right? One time I went there, this was when we were still going to the office. I got fired. They just called me to the office. They said, "Oh yeah, today is your last day. We are laying you off or whatever." They were following me like this, like I'm a criminal. The two of them, they followed me to my office. They gave me the box. They told me whatever is mine, put it in the box. I put it in the box. They followed me outside the door, followed me downstairs to the parking lot, followed me till I got in my car, till I exit the building and gave them the ID to exit the garage. That was when they left. They pretty much treated me like a criminal. And yeah, I get it, but even though companies can do that, you don't have to resort to that. You can just, um, but if you feel like you can take 2 weeks, then just tell them today's your last day and be done. Like the 2 times I've done that, one time, the $150,000 job, I told them tomorrow is my last day. I told my manager tomorrow is my last day, and they told me to stay till Friday. So it was Wednesday. I wanted to stop working on Thursday. They told me to stay till Friday, so I stayed till Friday. So if a job is stressing you guys out, I'm telling you, you can leave. I've been, I've said no to different offer, and it doesn't make or break me. It makes you even anything much stronger, and you always get more opportunities. That's why I keep saying building your skills is the ultimate thing you can do. As long as you have the skills, you can walk around with your chest pump because you know you are working with something that is valuable that you can use to get a job anytime you want. Just continue to build your skills. You will get opportunities. Um, yeah. So that's what I'll say. Don't you can leave your job anytime you want. I mean, if you can't do the 2 weeks, you can just tell them today's your last day. And even one time I got a job with a guy that spoke to me anyhow. Um, it was a long story, and that job I also left too. That was even before I got the offer, and the guy that was going to hook me up with the job was trying to belittle me, and I just told him I didn't want the offer anymore. So you guys have the opportunity to say no. That's what I'll say. I'm sorry, Wahab, you can go ahead. I saw you raise your hand.
Oh no, so I was gonna say the 2 weeks is just, I mean, I look at 2 weeks as if you're gonna need them for reference in the future, you can it's
You will
always good
ne
to give them to for
let's
two
be
weeks.
let's be honest. How many of you guys use your previous job for reference?
Well, I have, but like in terms, but it's not like it's not my manager putting up the reference, right?
Exactly.
It's not what I'm reporting to. It's
Exactly.
typically a friend or
A
colleague that I have there.
friend.
But yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, but
Exactly.
as just like you said, I've also just quit on the spot before. Just like, okay, you know what? I told the contracting company that I'm not coming in tomorrow, and that's it. Like send your package for the laptop. I'm good. But yeah, so I'm big on that as well. If a job is stressing you out, um, sometimes it literally it's too much. I had a friend who he used to do is he used to check his blood pressure like
Wow.
while he was working for a company, and then when he quit, he actually like checked and it was like, I because it was like I didn't used to sleep well just because I was always scared or had anxiety that,
Mm-hmm.
what's this meeting gonna be about the next morning and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it does take a toll. It takes a big toll on you.
Yeah, that is true. So the 150 job that I quit that I said tomorrow is my last day, it was the same way. If I told you I was so stressed out and I don't used to sleep at night and on weekends, That's all I'll be thinking about. And I'll be trying my best to, because this guy is trying to do something that I don't think is reasonable. And he doesn't want to take no for an answer. He wants it done how he wants it done. So yeah, that job used to stress me out a lot. Even on weekends, it used to stress me out. And I just got fed up and I just told them, look, tomorrow's my last day. And my contracting company told me to stay till Friday so I can at least have the billing for the week. Um, chat. But yeah,
Yeah.
my thing is you guys should continue looking. Yes. Always network, even when you have a job. Don't be comfortable. Always network. You can always get something better. That's why it's good to meet people, go to like this AWS conference, any tech conference, network. Even if it's on LinkedIn, anywhere, community where you can network with people, you can always get jobs that way. So don't be comfortable. And I'm saying there is normal stress on any job where sometimes there may be times where you have something demanding to turn in. That is understandable. But I'm saying like if a job is stressing you out to the point where you are losing sleep day and night, weekend, your blood pressure is going up, it's time to leave that job. Yeah, so your Wahab is right. It's time. I'm telling you guys, I've quit jobs before too. And like Mr. Harry was saying, you don't have to give them 2 weeks notice because if they want to fire you tomorrow, you won't even know about it. I mean, you
I
can see me. Go ahead, wow.
No, I was going to say I can actually give an example of a situation I was in, and I tell people this all the time. A lot of time, I just find consulting companies, especially like the big four, big three, some of their practices just seem sort of funny. I was contracting for a consulting company. It was one of the big fours, and it was for business systems analyst role. I was again, I was an experienced guy. I got on the team, discussing the client and everything, and then what I noticed was that everybody on the team I was working in, they were going to leave the project in like 2 or 3 weeks time. They were going to move on to another project. And all the new hires, I was the only experienced one there. And I noticed that like all the developers, all the testers, they were all fresh out of university. And I looked at it and I was like, we're doing a major upgrade for a system that's going from on-prem to cloud. Before I even got the job, like the interviews, the certifications and everything. And then I get on the team and I noticed that everyone that's currently working on that project are literally leaving, and everyone that's coming on are all new hires. When I started, it was so stressful. Everything had to go through me, and I was like, this isn't really what I signed up for. I myself cannot manage a migration, something this big. Like you should, and another funny thing is you can actually find out how much they're billing the clients, and you'd be like, wait a minute,
Uh-huh.
I was the big four billing the clients 250 per hour. Meanwhile, you're hiring new grads and paying them what
Yeah.
60,000 dollars or so.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm like, well, it's because they are undercutting the clients. Like they should be hiring experienced people and paying them maybe even if it's 100 or something.
Uh-huh.
I
Uh-huh.
experienced to get it done with prayer, but I noticed that literally and another thing I found out was the client was difficult. So it felt like they basically just hired a new team to deal with the client. Everybody that was working on that project moved on.
Uh-huh.
And I literally did not used to sleep. It
Yep.
was so terrifying. And it was kind of normal that everybody will work from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And I was like, I've worked for a lot of different companies, but this isn't it. The day I quit, I was gonna they were like, okay, you know what, we'll have so you're gonna start leading the team. And I was like, wait a minute, like I didn't apply for a lead position. I'm fine leading, but at least I'd like everyone around me to be experienced, not people who are
True.
just
I
quote
agree.
unquote passing their certification so they are eligible to work on the cloud version of this project. So I was like, you know what, since you guys are left to a different team, unfortunately, come and pick up your laptop. I'm done.
Yeah.
So sometimes like you really want to hope that you get into a situation that's um that's good.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. See, and similar experience you've had, I've had it before. But the ultimate thing is, you guys, if you have a job, don't get us wrong, there is stress level on job on a moderate level. But if it's something that's keeping you up at night, you can't sleep, you're having anxieties. I know a lot of people have anxieties. I know someone that our job used to stress her out so much, and it wasn't in the cloud. She was doing something like data analyst or something like that, business analyst. Our job used to stress her out so much that she was on medication for depression. And I was just like, but some people feel like they have to be on the job. I get it because you have to pay your bills, which is why I'm saying when you have a job and you're making money, look for ways to double that money. And how you can do that, the easiest way you can do that is investing in the stock market. If you either invest in the stock market or starting a business, but at least investing in the stock market is something that you don't have to do anything after you've picked a good company and you're just waiting. And over time, you are just making free money. So, which is sometimes jobs can turn to these things where you are doing for survival. So, how you guys can place yourself from that is continue to build your skills, leverage your skills in many ways you can leverage it to make money. Then once you make as much money as you can make, invest it. That is the key thing you have to do. Go ahead, Wahab. Yeah, Sean, you
No,
can go after Wahab.
yeah, and I was gonna say sometimes you can be on the lucky end. I once worked for a company where I they I felt like they forgot that I was an employee. Um, simply because I was a contractor. I was working for one project manager. The project manager said, you know what, I don't have enough tasks for you. They assigned me to project manager two. Project manager two gave me a few tasks. And so, you know what, I would actually assign you to project manager three. Then when I was done with project manager three, I went back to project manager. So I'm done with project manager. He said, okay, go back to project manager one. Then I realized project manager one was no longer on the project. So I was literally just like in the middle.
Hmm.
No, literally, I did not do any work for about 3, 4 months.
Yeah.
I didn't have to do anything. So sometimes you can get lucky like that, or
Mhm.
sometimes it can work for some companies who want you to sit down in meetings from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on a Friday.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
No,
I don't like
9
Friday
9
meetings.
a.m. to 4 like I said, you know what, you can book a 7 a.m. meeting on a Monday, I don't care, but like Friday 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. like that's tough. Like just
Mhm.
sitting down in meetings all day. So sometimes you can get on the lucky and yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So yes, just like that's a good point. Just like I've had jobs where I've quit, I've also had good jobs where it was my work was moderate. I had perfect work-life balance. The majority of the jobs I've done has been very good. But the key thing we are trying to say is if a job is stressing you out too much to the point where your blood pressure is up, you're having anxieties, it's time to be out.
Yeah, one thing is just to chime in real quick, just so it doesn't like dissuade people is, well, I think for every job, especially for those of us that just left boot camp, I think it's gonna stress us. It's an expectation that will come.
Yeah, that's normal.
Yeah, just so you know that stress is normal. I think I had my own fair share, but I'm not gonna say like that. I don't get stressed, but it's on the moderate level, just like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, be expecting the stress, especially for your first job or trying to get a hang of the job, especially once you're fresh from a cloud boot camp like this. So yeah, it's something to be expected, and hopefully you have a good teammates that will
Yeah.
support. So don't be afraid to ask for support and help, and your
Yeah.
networks too. So
Yeah.
yeah.
In regards to the teammate, I'll hold my thought. Well, yeah, Sean, go ahead. Then I would say something about the teammate. Or maybe your hand was raised from the previous when you were speaking. I'm not sure. So when we talk about the teammates, that's a good point. So at my job now, I have a teammate where he knows my work level. He's actually someone I can admit to as this week we had to do something and I told him, I said, man, I've been slacking on this work. I know I should have gotten it done, but to be honest, like I've just been taking my time working through it. Can you show me? And he's work on his. So I say, can you show me what you've done so far and walk me through it? And he would jump on the meeting right away and he'll walk me through everything that I need to know about it. And vice versa, I do the same thing with him too, right? So I'm saying that to say I told you, I always tell you guys to have your own skills and ability going in. That is always true. Make sure you can do the work. Don't go in expecting someone to tell you um, things like how to open Visual Studio Code, or you should be comfortable with your Visual Studio Code. you guys should be discussing things on a work level, not on a click here, click this. Like someone is just telling you everything to click, right? So on that level, he's my friend at work, someone I can rely on, and we bounce ideas off each other. We help each other out, and we talk about just everything that's going on at work, whether we like or we don't like. Try to make at least one friend like that at work. But there's also people that if you ask one thing, you can tell by the time they join if you say, oh, you message someone, I need help with this. Do you mind looking at this? From the moment they join the call, you can tell. If they are speaking less, they are not really speaking. They're just like, what did you say? Or there's a long pause within the thing. They're not really trying to help you. And they are feeling like that's something you should know. So you have to just be able to read the room and know where you stand with your coworker and who on your team you can rely on. Typically, you always find one person on the team that you guys will be good friends, where you guys can share ideas together. But be aware of that. But I've always said the ultimate thing is build your skills. And I'm not saying you don't have to be an expert, but have a good, solid foundational skills that when you go to work, you have something to contribute. Mr. Larry, go ahead.
You are very correct as it's based on what you are saying. My first job as an IT, I remember then that I was trying to ask one of the colleagues about something in that job that I wasn't familiar with. So he went ahead behind me and started discussing that, oh, this guy don't really know what he's doing. So yeah, they went ahead to report to the hiring manager, and the hiring manager called me to the office that, oh, he heard about so thing that, okay, they gave me some, maybe probably 2 or 3 weeks to write a note about something, which I did. So eventually I stayed in that job for like 6 months after, before I left. So you have to be careful asking anyone in your job any question. Just try to at least familiarize yourself with whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
That's key.
Yeah.
But these people,
Yeah, it's the truth. So I've my last coworker that left, it was the same thing. They fired him because, well, they didn't fire him, but part of all the things they wrote about him was the fact that he was asking people for help too much. And some other coworkers will use it to throw you under the bus too, like Mr. Henry said. And in this case, he will ask one of my coworkers for help on something. And when my other coworker didn't get his work done, whatever was going on with him, he would tell the manager that, well, I couldn't get my work done because I spent too much time helping this person. And the other guy didn't feel like the guy spent all day helping him. He might have spent 15, 20 minutes with him here and there, but the other guy was relating it to the manager as if he was spending the majority of the day helping the other guy. It was part of the reasons where he got into the whole issue with the manager, and he ended up leaving the job after that. So it is work politics is a real thing. So part of it too, like in my last job where they let me go, the one that I left 2 months ago, honestly, on that job, I was doing so well on that job. And that's a job I thought I was going to stay at forever, because it's even till now I don't have anything bad to say about them. It's a very good company. The company is very good. But for me on that job, what I see is it boils down to sometimes you having your jobs boil down to politics. And even if your manager that is supervising you likes you or not. And I think on that job, my manager can care less about me. That's I don't think he hate me, but at the same time, me and him just never connected. And I think even if someone said any small one thing about me, he blew it out of proportion. And that was just all that job came down to. I know he didn't like me. He's commented about my manager and my lead, both of them. They've commented about my YouTube before. And funny enough, that's the thing. It's like he's never, my lead, I speak to him during our standard. He's never brought it up to me. I said, Aziz, I've worked at other companies where people, even I was working with a guy that works at AWS. The guy's like, I was searching for something on Terraform the other day and I saw you. I was like, oh yeah, that's my channel. I just something I'm doing on the side. I'm not really, I just kind of like played it off like just something I try to share my knowledge with people. He was like, oh, that is perfect. This and that. I was really impressed with that. If you ever need a job at AWS or you need a thing, let me know. And he was very happy. But this other company, they saw it, they never said anything. And one day when my lead said something about me to the manager, they called me and they said, and it was something so basic that he could have told me about. And something, imagine you doing a work and your lead reviewing your work, and your lead went to complain to the manager that he reviewed your work. Apparently, he said maybe the work wasn't to his taste. I was like, okay, so what is the point of reviewing it if you and I reviewed the work together? You never said anything to me, but now I'm being written up for that. But while they are writing me up, then they now mention that, oh yeah, we saw your YouTube channel. We just hope that you are focusing on the work. It's not your channel that is distracting you from stuff. From there, I knew they had something against me. And so when they were letting me go, I wasn't surprised. It was actually something I felt was gonna happen at some point. But again, I was always 2 steps ahead. I had other source of income. So if they let me go, it's not a big deal. So you guys should also be some of the things you guys would have to deal with is work politics. But I will always say that the only thing that supersedes all that is building your skills. I have confidence in my skills because even after they let me go, I got 2 other offers within a month. So the job that I lost, I've already got another job already. So um, so that's what I'm saying. Building your skills is the ultimate thing. And once you have that skills, you grow in having your knowledge to rely on. Well, then once your teammates see that, okay, this guy knows what he's doing, then there'll be 1 or 2 people you'll be friends with that you guys can now kind of look out for each other and share ideas with each other. So that always happens. So, but work politics is a real thing. And ultimately, if a job is stressing you out too much to the point is affecting your job level, your blood pressure, then you should leave. Go ahead, Dylan.
AZ, I was looking at some jobs, and on a job review, they want you to be from America. And is that a good practice for looking for an IT job to go and fill out an application for this particular company? Because I don't do the job politics and all that kind of good stuff. Is that a good practice to apply for a job like that when they only want you if you from America?
Yes, it's good. Typically, a lot of the jobs, the IT jobs would have that requirement. Mainly because maybe the job you're applying to is located in the United States, and sometimes the requirement to work on the job may be that you have to have a green card, you have to be a US citizen. So it's not, especially in the IT field, you will see that a lot. And it is most likely it is because of the requirement that is placed on you on that particular position you are applying for to be able to work in that position. So that's not a discriminatory thing. It's very normal, especially in the IT field. So if you are reading the job description for a job like that and you know you can do the job, you should still apply for it. If that part of the requirement to either be a US citizen or have a work authorization to work in the US, if you meet that requirement, you should still apply to the job.
Okay, okay, I got you. I got
Yeah.
you.
I have a question. Is this so? What I mean, even in this field that I am in, I can definitely tell the job climate has changed from COVID, maybe like even from 2022 to today. For the cloud and DevOps space, I like even where I'm at in Canada here, I mean, we probably have like just a fraction of what's in the States, but From your experience, how have things changed over the past few, maybe 2, 3 years? And maybe just speaking about competition as a whole, like
Okay.
yeah, just
Yeah. So I think during COVID, every job was almost remote. So there's a chance you got a job very easy that was remote job. Now there are still remote jobs, but not as much as we had during COVID, right? But there are still remote jobs. And even now, what I'm seeing is for the remote jobs, they want you to be remote to the local area. So if a job might be 100% remote, and if that job is in Washington, D.C., they want you to be remote to the DC area, meaning that you might have to consider moving to that area, even though you're going to be working 100% remote. That's is for purpose where they might need you to come to the office, maybe for a meeting here and there, then you are remote to that area. So what I see is because we don't have as much remote job as we had during COVID. If you think about, at one point, I know about 5 people that was applying for job, and everybody, I was even just talking to someone last week. Everybody always say, I'm never going back to the office. There's nothing that will make me go back to the office. And I'm one of those people that's saying that, right?
mm,
So that lets you know that if during COVID we had 100% remote job, and now let's say it's 50-50, going to the office, and 50%, there's 50% of the job posting is you have to come to the office, and the 50% is like remote. I feel like everybody is still applying to the remote ones. So the competition on the remote jobs is much higher. As versus if you wanted a job where you had to go to the office, you can literally get a job by next week. But because everyone is applying to the remote one, so the competition there will be higher. So which is why I feel like for that, you have to mix a little bit of networking into it, networking with people, and we also have to come up with a strategy that is beyond that. Or I see the application I apply. There has to be other ways around that where we can find those people that are posting those things and reach out to them directly, or maybe someone at the company. So I think we'll have to do more than just stay in the position and apply in this day and age to give yourself a good chance to get hired. But what I see is just that there is the job, remote job. There are still a lot of remote job, but not as much as during COVID. And since everybody, including me, don't want to go back to the office, I'm only applying to fully remote jobs. And if everyone is applying to fully remote job, the competition is much higher. Yeah, Sean, go ahead.
So with the change, have you seen a lot of job titles that are going to like a platform engineer? And can you speak to that if you know what it is?
Oh, yeah, it's the same. If you see a platform engineer, apply to it. So my current job, I'm a platform engineer. And I don't know the proper definition for it, but it's just a platform engineer is that we've built, well, it's already done before I got there. We have the AWS infrastructure, which is just AWS organization. And within the AWS organization, they have different accounts that are used for different workloads that like, for example, they have an account that is used for networking. They have an account that is used for security or whatever the account is, right? The platform engineer, our job is to maintain whatever all that AWS account and workloads that we deploy in there. So the different teams that we have at our companies, because we have different teams, let's say sales team, for example. Now, if the sales team needs to host whatever application they are using in our AWS cloud, we would have to give them access to one of the accounts and space give them access, and they would just whatever. They also have DevOps engineer on their team that would now deploy their application to the platform. So think of the platform as a whole, like a whole AWS account. Think of it as just multiple AWS account that does different things. And you as a platform engineer, you are maintaining the platform, meaning all the accounts and whatever you guys have deployed in it. And part of the work you do is you give other team access to the platform. And when they deploy their application on the platform, sometimes, like for example, one of the tickets I'm working on now is someone on the other team, someone from the team we are giving access to the platform is deploying a Lambda function to do something. And the Lambda function is timing out. So he messaged us that he created a ticket that he needs us to open the ports on this IP. So does that make sense? So as a platform engineer, other people will be using the platform and you are just maintaining the platform. And if they need access to certain things in the platform, you give them access. If they are deploying things and they're having troubleshooting issue, you help them troubleshoot and help them resolve the issue. Does that make sense? So if you guys say platform engineer for AWS, you should still apply to it. It's all the same thing.
Thank you. I wasn't sure because the way that I had read about it was seeming like they was adding more tasks to it. It was like a DevOps, but it was kind of adding like more security with it. But I get what you're saying. So yeah, thanks. That really cleared up things for me.
Yeah, you're welcome. So it's a little bit of everything. There's DevOps there, there's security, there is identity and access management, because you are managing the platform as a whole, which is just a bunch of AWS account that does different things. So when people need access based on what they are trying to do, you know what account you give them access to. But everything is all set up and streamlined. Being a platform engineer, the most thing I've done there is giving someone access to an account and also helping them troubleshoot whatever issues they are facing when they are trying to deploy the application in the account we've given them access to. Yeah, but it's still all within the scope of everything you know about AWS. So you'll be using all those skills. So if someone said, I need my Lambda function is timing out. So all I do is go in I ask him what account. He told me the account. All I'll do is go in the account, check the Lambda function he created there, look at the logs, figure out what the issue is. And from there, if I need to open the security group port, I go open it in that account and problem solve. So you are still doing the same AWS work stuff you are doing.
A quick question as this. In that kind of situation, is it like in an automated fashion or you just do it on the console? Like the port opening.
It's because when we created that account and the platform, it was done through Terraform. So if I'm opening the port, I will have to do it through Terraform.
And Fees, have you ever seen out there as well, automation engineer? Because that's another one that's kind of popping up as well.
Automation engineer. I've seen it before, but I'm not sure. We know software developers have just like they have DevOps and automation engineer. Yeah. But the main thing is read the job description. Yes. When I was doing the interview, that's one of the things the man was saying. It was like, I'm just looking for someone that can automate everything. So automation engineer can just be you are writing scripts that's helping engineers do day-to-day work. So the main thing you have to look at is the job description. Read the job description and see if what they are asking you, they will have required skills and they have preferred skills. Or preferred skills, or is it preferred and required? So preferred means they prefer you have it, but you don't have to have it. Required means they want you to have it. So if you read that job description, you'll be able to tell what they mean by automation engineer. So in the case when I was doing the DevOps interview, they want an automation engineer too, and which is just writing scripts that helps them automate any daily tedious tasks that can be automated, that you don't have to keep doing those redundant tasks, then why not automate it? So sometimes automation engineer can just be that. Maybe you are automating stuff through writing scripts, Python scripts, or Terraform, automating things through Terraform. It can be anything. Again, don't get intimidated by the title and don't get swayed away by the title. If you see the title, read the job description. If you feel like you can do majority of in the job description, then why not apply to it?
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Wahab, I thought you had a question. Mr. Larry, go ahead.
Troubleshooting is
Okay.
your time.
All right. So, um, okay, so you can share your screen. I'll help you troubleshoot real quick. Hello, Komar. I'm not sure if you're still here. Sorry, I wasn't looking at the thing. So when I'll create the group, I'll create the group for the stock thing. For those that are interested, you guys, I can just add you guys to the group. So what I've been doing is I've just been sharing it in my Instagram story, but I'll figure out the best way to do it. So for those that are interested, you guys can feel free to check it out. Hello, Deborah. I'm not sure if you're still here. How are you? Oh,
Can
oh,
you
so
see?
no, I can see your. I'm seeing your Zoom something. Oh, okay, are you using someone else's Zoom thing?
No, not
Oh
this
yeah,
one.
no, I'm not talking to you. Sorry. Um, yeah. Do you have any question, Deborah or Dele?
Yeah, I do. I was working on this project, and can I share my screen with you?
Yeah, someone else is sharing their screen. Once he's done, you can share
Okay.
it.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Yeah, Dylan, you can share your screen after. So I can see your screen,
Oh,
Mr. Larry. I'm seeing something else.
Come, please. I'm trying to minimize the window. See, I don't know why I'm getting this.
You can maximize that screen by just um
Let me reshare again and see. I don't know what is coming on this. Since can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you. Dele, do you have a question?
yeah, I do have a question.
Oh no,
Uh,
sorry, Dylan. I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to someone else.
oh, okay. All right. My bad.
I know you guys' names sounds alike, but no.
Okay. All
Sorry.
right. I'll wait.
I didn't mean to convince you. Yeah, sorry.
So my I got this error while I was running this. Can you see my screen now?
No, I can't see your screen.
Can you see it now?
Yes.
So this is where my error is set. Error validating provider credentials.
Right. So that means whatever access key you are using for your Terraform in your CI/CD project, did you update it? Remember, we are storing. I remember with your project last week, remember when we deployed it in the management, when we were running Terraform apply to test your code,
Yeah.
I told you we updated your access key, right?
Yeah.
But in your CI/CD pipeline, right, you have to go and update your key to the new key. Did you do that? Did you remember to do that?
I don't remember where
Yeah.
to update
Yes.
that.
So just go into your, I think it's in your secret. So go back to your GitHub Actions homepage. I'll show you how to do it and you can just do it. So go back to your summary, click on summary up there. And you guys can remind me too if you, so click on settings, I believe settings.
Settings. Oh, okay.
Actions,
This
secrets and variable.
yeah.
But
Action.
yeah, then
I think I did that. Yeah.
so you have to update your access key and secret access key ID
Yeah,
then,
I
and it
think
should work.
I did that. But let me go ahead and get my secret.
Um, Aziz, I have a quick question.
Yeah, sure.
In your production environment, are you guys using secrets and access keys for Terraform when you're deploying Terraform, or you assume a role?
We assume a role.
You
So
assume a role, okay.
the pipeline that's running the thing has a role. It's like a
Has the role, okay.
service account role that it
Okay.
has to assume. Yeah.
And quick question, is that pipeline
So
if the
for
pipeline is in
our
GitHub Action, how would that work?
so GitHub Actions, look up
Oh,
something
there is a
OICD,
CD. Okay.
OICD.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what GitHub Actions use.
That's what you use.
OICD.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then that's OICD. No, you create a user that can assume that OICD role, right? And then you
Yeah.
give that user the permission for, okay. All right.
Yeah. So you don't have to delete you don't have to delete the
secret.
Yeah, just create a new secrets access key and then update it. And just make sure the user in AWS like still exists and has access to everything.
So Wahab, the part of the project where we are authenticating to AWS, instead of using that access key and secret access key, for that portion, you can use a OICD role as well.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
like
So
a whole documentation on how to do that.
I'm actually familiar with the OICD thing because I've been using it for EKS,
Mhm.
Azure and everything. So I didn't know that that's if it's the same logic that we're going to use for GitHub Action, then that makes sense. So
Mhm.
You just have to put in that OICD token and ensure they have STS at the time or something like that. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Hey, AZ. I just wanted to let you know I put a link in the chat for everybody to check out. I was saying I don't know if y'all seen the other one I was asking earlier about government contracting. So
Yeah. So sorry, I keep always ignoring the chat. It's a referring for. Oh, okay, interesting. More. Oh yeah, I am
do some
interested in
network
that.
community. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, perfect. Thank you. I'll
Yeah,
go through this.
I just registered for sam.gov yesterday. They couldn't find my business entity. I guess because a lot of people was in that building. So I had to send like some my business documentation. Like I used my bank statement, my business bank statement. I haven't got my EIN, like the documentation from IRS yet, because I had the number, but I needed to get the documentation because I couldn't find it. So she's like, it's gonna take probably like 2-3 weeks for me to get it, but I had to do that. But it if you have a problem like registering for SAM.gov, I guess that's the first option if they can't find your business entity. So I did that yesterday. So I'm hoping it says I think 3 to 5 days it takes for them to get back to you. So hopefully that'll be enough because I put that in and also like my article organization for my state that I register my business in. But once you do that and then you get your cage code, they call it, then you can start bidding on contracts. But of course, I'm learning still, so this is just one of the communities that I just wanted to get people inside our group. And just if they have any other resources they want to reach out to me for, they can as well. Because I'm learning too, but I've learned a lot, and I've already started like putting proposals, like response letters together, and learning how to write proposals and stuff. So I can win federal contracts. So.
Thank you. I'll definitely look into it and I'll reach out to you. I was working on something along the lines, but if I have any question, I'll reach out to you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I'm not a gatekeeper, so I'm always trying to give the scoop to everybody about since we was here talking about jobs and stuff. But I noticed that because a lot of people also was getting laid off because they were stacking their jobs. But at least if you're a federal contractor, like you literally can stack your jobs and then you can subcontract a lot of the work out to other companies. Like so this link I just put in the chat, this guy is really good and he really stresses for us to like work together because you know how a lot of times you have to have past performance with the government so you can put your experience together and team up on contracts. So that's why I definitely want all of us to try to join this group and we probably can work on contracts and winning contracts together too. So
yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah, I'll check it out. Thank you. So, Mr. Landry.
Yeah, 1 second, almost there. Just want to see if it can pick up the second part of it.
Here it is.
Hello.
Here it is.
Hey.
Sorry.
Sorry, I was trying to figure out who's speaking.
It's Sonny.
Oh, Sonny. Hey, Sonny, how are you?
I'm doing good. I have an issue with one Terraform project. But I can't seem to get help right now because I'm at work. is there any way I can link up with you some other time, whenever, like in any of your free time?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, just message me on Slack whenever you're free.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
It's still failed as is.
Yes, that's the issue. So you have to make sure that the credentials you are using is in your AWS account.
It's there, but it's there. It's okay. Let somebody else share.
No. Wait. Um. So
Let me
look
open
at.
my AWS account. Let's see.
So you have to check. That is the issue. Is not your access key. So it's between that, or we have to. If the credentials is there, then we have to look at the values for your not the values, but the key, to make sure the key match whatever key you have in your GitHub secrets. So remember we configured the user on your computer the other day, right?
Yeah.
We configured the access key and secret access key.
Yeah. After that, I change it.
All right, go to security credentials tab.
Yeah, wait. But this user,
This
the
user
SDS user doesn't have access. Yeah.
yeah, and this user, look, if you go to the permissions, right?
Oh.
Scroll down. This is the only thing you added to this user.
Oh. Yeah, I remember I was working on some. I remember I just removed admission. Admin.
Yeah, you can just add it to your
Have to.
admin group.
Right. So now go to your security credentials tab. What access key are you using? So you have two access keys here.
No, can you check if the name, if the
So
access
check,
key, like if it
yeah,
matches the one you're using?
check that Excel that you were just copying your access key from, and check which one it matches of those two.
Yeah, so it's the first one.
So you can just click on line 3 and paste it in there. You won't uh, close this and just, well, you can, I guess you can do it that way. Just paste it on line 3, you'll see it, because
Okay.
sometimes finding stuff in Excel is always weird.
You said paste is in line 3?
Yeah, just the row on the row number 3, paste it in there. You have to double click in there and paste it so it will be the same font. So double click in there. Double click in the thing until it is in edit mode, then you can paste it in there. So it will keep the same font. Yeah, remove that and paste what you copied in there. Press enter. I think it's because you did it that way, but I can see it is the same one.
It's the same thing.
All right, so you can try to run your pipeline again and see. It is because you didn't have
The permission.
Yeah.
Also not your S3. Can you scroll up?
Error configuring S3 backend.
What is in your S3 file? So press the plus, the plus on that run in it. Press that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, initiating backend. So can we look at your Terraform file? Provider.tf or backend. Okay. So what about your backend? And
Can
is
you
this
check
is this
sorry,
is-
can you check the bucket? So check which user has access to that bucket. Because sometimes it's the user who created the bucket. Only that user would have access to that bucket. So I think that might be the issue.
the bucket should just be a free one. So
Like an open bucket, right?
can you scroll down on this page? Let me read that error again. The issue is with your access. So either we're validating credentials. You're validating credentials. First, check whether the bucket is in the account. If the bucket is in the account, the issue is your IAM credentials. You just probably have to. Because he was able to and how we can test it is if he runs Terraform init, right?
From his
Terraform
local.
init from his local, if it works
Yeah.
there, then it should work on his pipeline too. And if it's not working on the pipeline, then it has to do with his is it's pipeline secrets. I think that's
Yeah.
what's causing it.
But I also think when he runs it in your local, just try and make sure that you're running it with Terraform, the Terraform user, right?
Yeah, the same Terraform, yeah,
The
exactly.
same Terraform user, yeah.
So whatever key is configured on his computer, that's what he has to put in the pipeline secret. So from your local, can you run and then go back to your Terraform code and run Terraform init from your Terraform code?
Let me see. Since this bucket is Terraform CIC Terraform. So run Terraform init.
Yeah, close this terminal and open.
Close this one.
Open your Terraform. No, open your terminal into the Terraform project, into the IAC project, not pipeline. No. Yeah. So press. No. You open the terminal. Don't close it. You are already in there. Stay where you are. But I'm saying, click out of there. Just click on your screen on the left, on the right side. So I'm saying open your terminal into your IAC directory, not your pipeline directory.
Yeah.
So you have to click on any file in that directory and click open integrated terminal. Yeah.
It's taking so long.
Yeah.
Where's this computer? All right, so that worked, right? So it's just in your code. The issue is in this code.
No, but wait, what user is logged in? So is it a Terraform user that's logged in?
So go first. We have to just go to your home directory and check whatever credentials is configured under your default profile.
Can you run this command, AWS STS get caller identity? It will tell you what user is logged in.
AWS.
STS. I put it in the chat.
STS.
Maybe STS, yes. Space gets caller dash identity. So this is a way to always tell what user is sending requests to AWS instead of going through the
Yeah.
But is it going to print is
it will print it. No, it won't.
access key and secret access key?
No. It will just
That's
print the it will print the user ID, account, and ARN. So that's it.
So you can say it's a different well, user ID. Well, that's not the Well, it's the Terraform user, but that is not the access key and secret access key.
Yes. So can we even you only have one account, right? Just to ensure that the account is the correct one.
You mean the the AWS account?
AWS account, yeah, you only have one, right? That's what your account ends in 8725, right?
This one I'm using now, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I think you're logged in with a different you have its different secret access key and secret key configured, right?
So
On the CLI.
so he just needs to open his, let's say, his default profile. You can change it after we are done. So that's the only way, because the default profile is what the Terraform is using to authenticate now. So whatever is there, that's what you need to put in your GitHub Actions. But then you also have to, Wahab, you also have to check his GitHub Actions variable to make sure whatever his secret is actually the actual variable. Because I think the issue is between those two.
I wouldn't show my credentials on here.
It's okay. You can delete it once it's done. Okay, I think that is right. So let's look in your sorry, once we are done, you can just delete those access key and create a new one. Let's look in your pipeline code. I think the issue might just be there. So go to your Terraform code. And Visual Studio Code.
Trying to look for it.
Oh. You can select it. Is there in your hyperlink. Just click that one.
Oh, which one?
So in Visual Studio Code, you can see all the last project you opened. So it's right there.
That's it. You have it open here.
I didn't catch everything he was doing. As
no,
is he trying to deploy his stuff on CI/CD and GitHub Actions?
Yeah.
Yeah. So click on your deploy pipeline.yaml.
Okay, because the reason why I was asking, because the recommendations came up on his thing when I was doing it, and I noticed that you clicked out of it. But I know I use a lot of the extensions in VS Code that really helps out with integrating stuff. And I'm on it now, but it was asking earlier recommendations and if you wanted to install the GitHub Actions extension to deploy your that deploy pipeline.yaml file. It did ask that, so I just wanted to point that out.
So what job is failing? So scroll down here.
The second job is second building infrastructure.
Can you check the needs, configure AWS credentials just to make sure it's correct?
You mean the one at the top?
Yeah, so what's configure AWS credentials? Get the job ID name. Okay. No, I'm talking about line 18. Just to make sure, because you're taking line 18 into the next job, right? So I just wanted to make sure that it is correct. So come. And is it filling a Terraform init, right?
Yeah.
And the directory. Okay.
So can you go to your GitHub Actions pipeline? Let me see which job is failing. So check out repository setup Terraform, run Terraform, initialize. All right. So go to your code, go to your Visual Studio Code, run Terraform init. Job.
Run it again.
No, don't run it. So configure AWS credential is fine. Scroll up. Access key ID, AWS, AWS, access key. Can you copy your code from the beginning to the build AWS infrastructure job and send it to me?
Yeah.
No. So scroll down. Scroll down. No, it's fine. Scroll down. Keep scrolling down. Put your cursor on line 144 and scroll all the way up and hold shift and click line 1.
144.
Yeah, click that, then scroll back, scroll all the way up. Don't use the up arrow, just scroll back up.
So don't use up arrow.
Yeah, just scroll back up. Scroll back up to line 1. Your cursor should remain on line 144. Yes, that's fine. Now scroll all the way up with your scroll wheel. No. So I'm saying like just click on line 144. Click on line 144 there. Then use that scroll thing on the right side of your screen that has that gray thing. Just scroll all the way up. Don't select anything. Just go back to the first page, to line 1.
Yeah, I click on this control, then I click the up arrow.
No, I'm just saying, your stuff is on line 144 now. But I'm saying don't click anything. Just scroll all the way to line 1. You are not selecting anything. Go back to line 1, but leave your cursor over there.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Now hold the shift key and click line 1. Yeah, click there. Hold the shift key before you click there. Hold it and click.
Like this?
No. So if you select the line 144
Shift, sorry.
and you are holding the shift and there, it will select everything for you. So you can leave your cursor there. Now scroll down, scroll all the way back to line 144 again.
So scroll up.
Yeah, scroll up and you can do it from any side. So it doesn't matter which side you do it from. So now hold the shift key and click before the end on the name on line 1.
So the shift only, right?
Yeah,
Not control shift.
Just shift.
So click on here.
Yes.
Copy.
You have to press Control Z. You messed up the code. Can you send the code to me on Slack, please? The code thing is up there on the thing, the second one. No, Control Z. You have to use the code stuff. You are not using the code thing.
Yeah.
Just press Control Z on your thing. It
Yeah,
will do.
I did. It doesn't.
It works. You make sure you. The second one.
This one.
Yes. I don't see anything on the code. The only thing I can say is, can you check your GitHub action secret and make sure that the key you are using is the same as the one in your code? I mean it is because you configure AWS.
But if it's not working, it won't.
Yeah, that one wouldn't work. Okay, that's true. So scroll down here. Let's see the error again. All right. Error configuring S3 backend. Error validating providers credentials. Okay. So this is a Terraform issue. It's not the pipeline issue. So Terraform can configure your backend. Use this one. Zip. Go in your Terraform code. Let's try this. I know sometimes as well, are you still here? I know sometimes with Terraform, you on that backend, remember that backend, sometimes you have to like put whatever profile you use to authenticate with it.
Yeah, so I'm actually I thought it was me probably something to do with S3, but one thing I'd say is let's because it is working here, right? Terraform init is works here.
Mhm.
Can we create a new secret and access key? Can we do that? Can we try that? So we go to the console, AWS.
Mm.
Yeah, I am. So security credentials. And let's
Let
the
me
first, yeah,
delete
this one, yeah,
Yeah, you
delete.
have to delete both too. So uh,
it.
I mean, it shows that it was last used 21 minutes ago.
Minutes ago. Yeah. So
Would that be
like
the issue?
It's working.
so it's working because when we did Terraform init, with that user, it actually it is initializing the backend. But I think maybe with the pipeline, let's you know
Let me
create
just
new credentials and then We'll put fresh credentials and then see what happens.
I think it's his credentials in his pipeline. Because if you run AWS configure, right? For the pipeline, I don't think it will fail even if it's like a wrong configure, it's a wrong credentials. You understand what I mean? It's still going to pass that job for the configure AWS credentials.
Yeah.
Then when you
Yeah.
are trying to use that credentials to authenticate,
Then it
then
could fail.
it'll fail. Yeah.
Because when you actually run AWS config, I don't think it makes a call to be like, is this a valid
Exactly.
access and secret key? It doesn't do that.
So
Yeah.
just leave it like that. You can download it, but go open your CI/CD secrets.
One quick tip is, I don't know, downloading this thing will just swap your download folder. Just, save the thing in a notepad. That would be a lot easier to manage.
Yeah.
You
So
need the
copy your
secret.
copy your line, your secret and secret access key, the key you are using there, and make sure they are the same thing. Now go to your GitHub Action secrets. Close this file. Close your Excel. Just use whatever is on your screen right now.
So click show. Yeah, you don't even need to show it. Just copy it. You can just copy it.
So first you need to go to open your GitHub Action secret.
No, settings and change it. Wait, okay, yeah, so this is it, yeah. Update.
You have to can you confirm that the spelling for your secret key is the same as what you have in your code? No, it's fine. I even have your code here. You can leave it on the screen. I have your code. I can make that.
Okay.
Can you put your screen back on that GitHub Action? Okay. GitHub access. EID. Okay. Yeah, it looks correct.
Yeah, it is working. Perfect.
Oh my,
So it was always the secret, the
okay.
access
Yeah,
keys, yeah,
that's what I
Maybe
and
said.
because
permissions.
there are two secret key there.
So yeah, so I think, you know, I think what I don't know who mentioned it, but I think sometimes when you download those files, it's overriding it. So you might not even have the updated ones, right? A lot of yeah, so I think just
Yeah,
update.
I think that was what happened. Just keep like have like a OneNote, and probably if you have a secret access key for your repo for like let's say GitHub Actions, you just name it in that reference instead of downloading. You kind of get confused. You don't know which one is which.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thank
I made you
you.
on camera.
Thank you.
Oh my God, I'm sorry, guys. It's been a long day today. Just sleeping. Yeah. Good
Okay.
job,
Okay.
guys.
Thank
All
you,
right.
guys. Let me give other people chance.
All right, Dylan, can you share your screen and go through your issue? You might be speaking on mute.
Yeah, here we go.
Okay.
I
All right.
stopped the instance, but when I ran this into my connect, I didn't get the output that I was looking for.
What are you trying to show me? I'm seeing your management console.
Yeah, in my management console, I was trying to connect to it. I was putting in my data migration instance and all that kind of good stuff, and it didn't go through. And me looking at what he put in, I know I still have my old access keys and stuff like that. I have multiple access keys. So I'm thinking, looking at his, I might have the same thing.
What project is
But
this?
just the Kubernetes.
Okay, you're trying to, I still don't know. You're trying to connect to this instance. Can you show me what
Well,
error
I was
you are
trying
getting?
to, I, yeah, I was trying to run my script.
Okay,
I
on
was
it,
trying to
right?
run this script. Yeah, yeah.
Was it the
Okay.
same error you put in the chat? The for Flyway?
Last night when I was doing it,
Yeah.
no. I had updated my flyweight. I had updated
Okay.
the flyweight. And it still didn't go through. My connect
So
failed.
yeah, so the error is with Flyway, right?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But
Okay.
it was when I was looking at the video, he had an old video of the flyweight, and I didn't update it. And when I did it and I updated, it went through, but it still didn't give me the output
Migrate.
that I was looking for. Yeah, the migrate. Yeah.
So I can see sudo flyway command not found. So I think we
What are
must
you
have
guys saying?
discussed
I'm
this.
saying something else.
No, no, so it's in the chat. It's in the DevOps chat.
Yeah.
So not in
So
the
It's in
not
the Slack he's talking about.
Slack.
this
Yeah.
is in the Slack. Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, y'all.
No, that's fine.
All right. So on
Is
your
he like, what are
screen,
you talking about?
oh no, no, no. So on your screen, can you show what you were trying to do that where is can you show me your error on your screen?
Okay, all right. All right. It didn't even connect to it. Nah, ain't it.
Are you doing something else on the
No,
other
no.
screen?
No, no. I'm going through the steps of what I did to where I got the output that I got.
But we can't
So you,
see it. We want to see it. That's
oh,
why
y'all want to see it? Okay, all right,
yeah.
boom.
So we
Let
can
me share
help.
my screen. My fault. My fault. I know y'all still up. Y'all still with me? Y'all can see it?
No, you only
No,
sharing
we
your
still got the
management console.
yeah.
Uh, how about now?
I can still only see your management console.
Stop sharing your screen and then go back in and share again and share entire screen or whatever screen you want us to see.
Cool.
I'm not sure you're using a dual screen.
How about now?
It's loading up,
It's
so
loading.
yeah. There you go.
Y'all still can't see it?
We can see it now.
You good
Okay.
now?
All right.
You can maximize the screen.
Okay.
So you've already run those commands on this instance before, because that's why it is failing. So can you launch another EC2 instance?
Okay.
So that also reminds me as this, by the way, that was this time I had to like be spinning new instances, and I was wondering like, can we just like instead of be spinning new instances, as I mean we are in like a dev environment where we probably messed something up, and that environment already has something going on, especially in that server. Obviously, we're not gonna like delete the server and start from afresh. But what is like the best practices? My thinking was take a snapshot of what is existing, then go into that server, do whatever. But if something happens, you go back to the AMI of that server. But like in this kind of instance, like what is the best practice, especially if let's say a production server, if you're going into that server to fix some broken stuff?
I mean, for this one, since the process is just migrating the data, so you won't see them mixing different workloads on one EC2 instance. There will be one EC2 instance for one workload. So if the EC2 instance migrating data, that's the only thing that will be on it. But it is a good idea that if you can install your server you can configure your server up to the point where Flyway is on it, then just use that AMI to launch the EC2 instance. And at that point, you don't have to install Flyway. You are just running the command to copy your script
But
into the SQL.
but I did this already, and it still gave me the output that I was looking for that I put in the check. I deleted all of this, and it still did the same thing. My thing is, do I have to delete my RDS for it to like all
No,
the way
let
terminate?
me see the output to you.
Okay, all right, cool. I'm terminated. Shit.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm not seeing okay, ls Flyway SQL. Boom. All right. You downloaded the file from S3. So but this your command does not tell. It is saying Flyway command not found because it is saying Flyway command not found because your you are running the flyway command from you are running it from your home directory, which that is the point of using that link so you can run your flyway command from anywhere. But
But I
it doesn't.
updated the. Go
This
ahead.
doesn't show me that you enable that feature to be able to run your command from anywhere. So saying my flyway not found is just that you didn't run that other command to allow you to run flyway from any directory. At least from this output you are showing here, it doesn't show that. So I don't. You might have run it. Maybe it failed. I don't know. So we'll see now. That's why I always like to start with a new instance because it does work.
And sometimes you gotta backtrack your steps because you'd be surprised how many times you might miss something, especially in the script.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you don't backtrack your steps.
You right. I did.
Yeah, so
I
that's
took your.
that's what I was trying to do to see what you're doing, then we can
Yeah.
pinpoint. So there's nothing. Oh, okay. So here you have to add the S3 rule. Okay. And launch instance.
I had an issue with Flyaway too, because sometimes the version changes. So Flyaway has good documentation as well that you can go and pull up if you run it into an error when you get there. That issue.
Yeah, but I want to update the flyway.
Yeah, I
Now
seen
I didn't
that.
use
Yeah,
the flyway
good version.
on a
Yeah.
on a project.
Mhm.
So and I don't know why I keep running into these small little problems. I just don't know
They
why.
normal. They normal. I tell you, they normal. It's just it's a part of troubleshooting. That's why I was giving you tricks and trips and like using your
Yeah,
tools and stuff because
yeah,
I
and
run
I
into
use
projects all the time.
don't get me
And
don't get me wrong. I was using ChatGPT, but I was like,
no, you don't have
this
to only
gotta
just
work
use
right
that
here.
because if you don't know what to tell it, it can give you the wrong information as well. But that's why I was telling you to use all of your tools, like pulling up YouTube and pulling up documentation and going
Right.
to Stack Overflow, because you're running into situations. Especially, I've always noticed, and I've noticed this all the time. That's why I always tell y'all to like take screenshots of it and put it in OneNote if you
Uh-huh.
got a OneNote because like literally like after a while you start realizing those a lot of times be the same issues. And my issue used to be like the path. And one thing that AZ told me last week and I have forgot about that is making sure you also put your stuff in lowercase, like write your file lowercase because like little different um variations like that can change up and mess up the whole script. Like if you have something misspelled in your path or your file, or one part of it's
Right.
capitalized, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Right.
So that's why I was
I was
telling you,
like,
like,
oof.
really backtrack your stuff. You be like, oh my god, I can't believe I missed that, but it happens. I'm telling you, I still do it. So
Yeah. You can connect to it now. It will work. It's fine. You don't have to wait for the
Okay.
initializer. The second one. No, that's right. So just scroll down.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to scroll on that one, not the first one.
See, I was thinking I had to delete my RDS and get a new RDS, and I'm like, nah, it's already Thursday. I gotta just see what we got.
Can you, once you're done with that one, can you maximize your screen, please? On your command once you are done with that one. I want
Okay.
to verify your flyway version and so yeah, just maximize it a little bit. Just want to see something. Okay, 15.2. All right, cool.
This is the main part right here.
Mm-hmm. Run it. I see. All right. So remove that sudo and run it without the sudo. So that's the thing with the instance. Sometimes they let you run it with the sudo. Sometimes it fails without the sudo. So remove the sudo from the beginning. You would have to like press your mouse to go back. So press your the- remove the space too. The extra space there. Okay. All right. But before you paste it, first remove whatever you pasted in your terminal. You can remove it by pressing the up arrow key or up arrow key. See if that removes it. Press the up arrow key. Press down now. Down arrow key. Press down. Uh, press up arrow key, but then just backspace. Then backspace, just remove it. There's probably a command to clear it, but I don't know. Just here, backspace all the way to clear it.
I believe you can use like Control C, come
I
out
don't
of
want that.
that command.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All
okay.
right.
I don't want to mess nothing
It,
up.
No, it's fine.
yeah,
I was just
me too. I'm afraid to. All right.
telling
So,
You ready?
yeah, run it. It should work. It will work. By the way, so bash cannot be found. What is wrong
But when I
with you?
ran the other version, the older version, it gave me a different output than command not found. It gave me something. It gave me something with warning and all that kind of good stuff. I think I,
So what is wrong with your uh
Wait,
Is your
AZ,
command?
isn't that's the one that where they did say when they say warning, not to worry about that. You see it? Was it in yellow like font that you
Yeah.
saw?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's correct.
Sure was. Sure was.
But it's is not running. Say flyway not found.
I got,
So
if you're looking at my chat GPT, that's the warning is out of date. Then I updated it.
no, the one in stuff is fine.
Right.
Oh, it was fine?
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
That's what I'm telling you. Yeah.
The one in stuff is fine. I mentioned it that the one in stuff is fine. You just needed to tell you at the end that your flyway was successfully
And
It
that's
didn't,
probably why
yeah.
you're getting that error.
Okay.
Let me pull up I think I got a screenshot of it. Hold on.
Can you run
And see,
flyway
and
info?
and Shamika, I kind of thought that you had the same kind of little problem. That's why I was asking you in the Slack. I was like, I think you had the same problem because you're working on it. I think it was like a couple weeks ago, and I
No,
don't
that
think.
wasn't my issue. It was when I was doing the screenshot of listening. It was something I did. But that
Mhm.
was my mistake. It was just something that not found the file. But
Oh,
I didn't have that was that but something I posted in the chat 2 weeks ago. That was like
yeah.
I've said all the time, is like it was a file issue. I when he was uploading something on GitHub,
Uh-huh.
I
Uh-huh.
wasn't getting the same thing, like the file path.
Right.
And so when
Okay.
I got on here
Okay.
and I was like, "Hey, AZ, where did you go?" That's when he was showing us a trick that one of his guys at his job show where when you download, you could just actually, I think what was it like right click on it something like that, and that's why I was having. But that's what I'm saying. Like it'd be minor stuff like that that will mess you up, but that project I didn't have any issues with because he did say in the warning part, don't worry about that. It's just if you read it, actually, is not something that you need to be worried about. It's not an error actually.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
Because I
I
started
think
panicking.
so you ran it before and you already did the migration. Is that what you
Yeah,
um
I ran it. I got everything. It just didn't give
did
me
you did you
succeeded.
did you post the error? Did you post that one? I didn't see that.
On the Slack, I don't think I did.
Okay.
I just started running it. I just
So
started doing it over again. I did it
can
like four,
you
5 times.
can you um update your flyway command to the latest flyway
It
version?
is on the latest flyweight. 10.15.2. The one that you have was like a
All right. So
9.7.1.
let's let's look at the flyway documentation. Can you go to your commands that you are using to run that? Right. Let's go to that command. Okay. So you have wget blah blah blah. Um, wd. I just think there's a typo in your command. That's why it's not working.
Okay.
Because if you downloaded the 15.2, right? Because I
Mm-hmm.
think what you did is you downloaded the 15.2. Let me see.
Can we
No,
run
no.
Oh
flyway?
yeah, I see what
I
the issue
downloaded.
I see what the issue is. You downloaded the 15.2 thing, but then you modified the command into your command in line 13 and 16, and your command in line 13 and 16 is wrong.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
what I did first, I did the older version. And when I got the command output of the warning message, then I went back and I deleted the instance and then I updated the 10.15 to 10.2
I
from there.
understand.
That's what I did.
I understand. So can you go in the flyway documentation? I'll show you what you did wrong. Just use the link
I,
in
I
our
just
Slack thing.
deleted.
No, go to our Slack canvas.
Okay.
Go to our Slack canvas. I'll show you. The link is there. All right. So scroll down on that right side in the canvas. Scroll down. No, you're on the right page, but in the canvas, just scroll down. Where you get all the
Okay.
Zoom link and all that stuff, just scroll down there. Keep scrolling down.
And I'm putting the chat the screenshot in the chat as well. When you went wrong
All
at
right.
because you
You
said
talking
just
about
So
this
so
one, huh?
yeah, yeah, open down. So click on the one on the radio. That will open it for you. because the sometimes majority of the time, if almost all the time, your error will tell you what you are doing wrong. So your error is you can't find the flyaway command, which I was saying that you not flying the flyaway command and you already install flyaway, because I saw that you installed it successfully, meaning that that command that we run to be able to run the flyaway command from any directory on yours is not working. Or it's not configured correctly. So over here on the Linux command, can you copy that command and put it in, paste it in your code? Then we'll look at it together. I mean, I appreciate what you try to do, which is also is an effort that you made. But that's what troubleshooting is about too. Once you make a mistake, you can learn from it. All right. So go back to your command. So paste it on line 13 or line 16. No, don't replace the one you have now. Just paste it on sorry, I said line 14. Paste it on 14. Or you can paste it on 17. So I would say paste it 17.
17? You got it.
That's what I was saying inside the Slack. So when you having these issues, just don't post the code. Like, let us know what steps you took. Because like right now, we didn't even know you did that flyway. If you didn't had that, we could have told you, oh, you did it right. You know what I'm saying? So that's why. So asking the wrong questions. If you just anybody get this code, this error, that's not gonna help, because somebody else can have the minute had an error, but it might be something totally different than yours. So if you just say, okay, the steps, like this are the steps that I did, this is what I got, and that's why we're telling you, like, you see, I have a screenshot in here, and if you put the screenshot inside this snippet and put the screenshot inside Slack, by all means, somebody gonna give you the right answer. But if you just say this, we don't know what you're really talking about, and you just put in the script inside the Slack, we don't really know what you're trying to do, or what type of steps should you take, troubleshooting steps should you take.
Yeah, it's always, and even when you guys are doing that at work, I mean, she's right. You have to, it's
Explain it.
something they talk about, like asking the right question. You have to be able to give them like what you've done, what you were trying to do to get that. Sometimes when you guys post an error, like let's say you got like a 403 error, and just say how do I troubleshoot this? There's no way for me to know what you did prior to that, because some errors are generic. It means like it's just telling you that this is happening, but it could have come from anywhere. So stay in your code thing. I want to show you what you did wrong. All right. So you copied this command, but I appreciate what you did, because you did the right thing. So you split it into two and you try to pretty much make it the same as we did it before, right? So when I record the video, at that time, Flyway just had line 13 as the way it is, meaning that that's the command you use to install Flyway. But on their latest version, they've include two commands on the same line. The command they've included is the command to install Flyway, and also the command to allow you to run the Flyway migrate from any directory, meaning that you don't have to now go into your SQL directory to run the Flyway command. You can run it from any directory.
Okay.
So you can see on the command you paste on line 17, copy everything after. You don't have to remove it, but just copy everything after sudo and paste it on that at line 17. So on line 17, copy everything after the second sudo, not the first one, the second one. After you have the and symbol all the way to the end.
Okay.
Oh no, not that sudo, the second one. So if you look ahead of that line, you'll see the sudo again after the and.
After the and, I don't see what you're talking about. I don't see what you're saying.
Okay, so you see on line 17, you see where you have the tar, Z, V, Z, X, V, Z.
Oh, at the end? Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
on line 17, right? Don't select anything yet. So on line 17, right? Right there, right? So I'm saying copy that second sudo. Start with the sudo. I just want to show you what you did wrong. So click, you already selected it. So click after the sudo. Yeah, click there. Now copy everything after that. Copy everything there.
Going left or going right?
Going right, sorry. Copy. All right, paste that above line 17. So after line 16, press enter and paste it there.
Okay. Above 17.
Yeah, between 16 and 17. So you can just press enter and paste it. I'm just showing you where the error is.
Right here?
Yeah. So remove the extra space. Right. You can see that is not the same as what you have.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So
line 16.
This is the command that allows you to run Flyway from any directory. You can see
Okay.
what is in their documentation is what you just pasted on line 17.
Okay, so
You were running the one on line 16.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
All right. So in their documentation, in one line of code, they've include the command to install Flyway and also the command to allow you to run Flyway from any directory, right? So now in your code, you only need one. You don't need 13 to 17. You only just need line 18.
Line 18. So I can delete 16 then.
Yeah, delete 17, delete 16, delete 15, and delete 13.
16.
So if you put your cursor, let me teach you a trick. If you put you see where your cursor is there? Now, if you press Control X, it would delete that line for you. Control X, it would remove that line for you.
Okay. All right.
So do the same thing for
Do
15.
it again?
Yeah, for 15.
Control X.
Now do the same thing for line 14 and 13. So don't do it on, oh no, you delete the wrong one. Press Control Z. All right, we want to keep this one. So you are deleting your old command as
13.
13 and 14 and the white space.
Control X.
And Control X again. Whatever you are on is what the Control X is going to work on. So you can add this, you can add a space between 13 and 14. No, you don't have to remove all your extra space. Or do you like seeing your code that way? It's up to you.
I like seeing my code when I'm doing, step by step.
You like
So
you don't like the space in between, or you like the
Oh,
space?
no, I love the space in between. I love the space in between.
All right. Yeah. So put a space between 13 and 14. So this is the command you should run. So you can launch a new EC2 instance and run this command is well, it's going to work.
Okay. All right. So delete this one. Okay.
Yeah, and before you panic, if you have a problem like this before you panic, backtrack can also mean like run the video that he's saying like in the steps, like replay it again, because if you just miss something, because like that, like he literally did say inside the video, he said that warning, don't worry about that. Only thing you want to make sure you see is what it says at the end when it finished warning. So just like I said, when you backtrack everything, like not just while you following along the video. If you run into an issue, and let's say you on video 1, right, or video 2 inside a project, and you run into like an error, and like, okay, let me go back to video 1 where I was at, or 2, and let me replay it while I'm backtracking my steps, because it might be something that you missed that he said inside there. And like I said, I told you before when you first started, like it is going to be issues that you're going to run into sometime because the versions change. So if a version change on a software like that, it might change the syntax like that. But those are the reason why you want to backtrack and then do your research. And then if you have any issues, then you come on to Slack and be like, hey, I took this step, that step. I'm telling people be overlooking help desk jobs, but that's where I came from. I came from help desk before even getting into a cloud software engineer or anything job. Like before I decided I wanted to do cloud engineer, I started at help desk and started in cybersecurity. You know what I'm saying? And then I moved into last contract, like I said, I had was with Microsoft as a Microsoft 365 software engineer. So I mean, support engineer. But my thing is that helps you learn those steps in troubleshooting because that's what they always ask. When we even ask people, okay, what was the last issue you had this at? And is it, how, and then how can you reproduce the issue again? You know what I'm saying, in your environment. So if you're watching the video and you backtrack that step, like you like, oh, okay, he did say, don't worry about it. So you went, you cause yourself mad stress for something you did right to begin with when you saw that thing coming up, that warning sign. So like I said, when you backtrack, also
Yeah,
backtrack the video,
I ain't gonna lie.
the video as well.
But Dylan, the point of doing the project at
Like
this
it
stage
didn't.
is to learn, right? You guys are learning, which is why I said at this stage, you guys don't be afraid to make as much mistake as you can make. Break something, it's fine.
Right.
But you guys don't be. There's been many times where I've worked on the same projects over and over and over and over again. Like when I used to learn, when I get stuck on something and I can't figure that stuff out, you know what I do? I delete the whole project and start all over again.
Yeah,
I've
I
done
done
that
it.
many
I've done that.
times. So you
I'm
guys
telling you,
don't.
I did this. I did this like 3 times, and I kept getting the same output. I did it like 3 times,
But let me
and
tell
that's
you,
how
when
I
you
do all my
document it,
projects.
you're gonna remember it. That's what I'm saying. Like when you document, every time
Yeah.
you go to this problem, like screenshot it and put it in OneNote. I'm telling you, this is gonna make you learn and remember it the best. And somebody else, maybe you get a job, and somebody else, I'm having this problem. Oh, I got you. This is what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? Because like, or you in the interview, you really can really talk about it without not feeling like you reading from a script because you really have done this issue, that had this issue more than once. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
yeah.
Right. Right.
So
I mean, I've been trying to get a job in help desk.
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
sometimes you guys don't try to finish the project in one go. I'm not saying that's what you're doing, Dylan, but I certainly work with certain
No.
people, troubleshoot with certain people that they are trying to finish the project in one go. When they stuck somewhere, they want me to help them unblock that area so they can continue. But then when I'm working with you guys, I can tell whether the issues you are facing is based on a prior knowledge that you need to understand before you understand what issues you are facing here. So all those things matter, especially when you are working. So that is why at this stage is just best to make as many mistakes as you want. When I was working on the WordPress project for the first time, I was stuck on connecting my database to the WordPress and for about 2 weeks, and I kept I deleted all my VPC, rebuilt the VPC because I couldn't tell where the error was coming from. And it happened to be that I was using you guys know when you connect the database name, I was using the instance name instead of the database name. And that was where my issue was coming from. So with some projects, you guys will just have to start all over. And by you starting all over, you learn more that way. And that will help you in the long run. Because I'm saying that I don't mind at this stage, even if I give you guys a hard time, I don't mind. But how you ask questions at work and how they are assisting you helps. It does matter. If someone at work is telling you click here, click there, you don't want that at work.
Nah. I don't want. Whenever I get an IT job, I don't want nobody to help me with nothing.
No, you can ask for
Absolutely
help.
nothing.
Don't
So
and
but
don't
just
don't don't
yeah,
have don't have that mindset either. You
yeah,
can you can ask for help. We're not trying to say that just don't ask for help. You can, but how you ask for help and what they're
right,
assisting you with does matter. So
right.
you can ask for help because you trust me, you can't do it all by yourself. You rely
Mm-hmm.
on your coworker when you can. But
Aziz, can
how
I chime in?
Yeah, sure.
Seriously, you must. At some point, I was having that mentality that I want to be independent. But listen, you will ask
Yeah.
for help. Yeah, but the help you will ask is gonna be more intelligent than just the basic. Perhaps like you've probably gotten to like 80% of completion and there's something kind of a blocker. But
Exactly.
please ask for help. But just know that it's something you've tried your best to settle.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like someone, for
Eh,
instance, like someone inside the Slack. I don't know who it was because I've been doing my own thing last week trying to prepare for my solutions exam, right? But they was saying they had I think they had like a 502 gateway, bad gateway error. So it's stuff like that that I be talking about. Like I'm like when I say research is so important, 'cause this is something my mentors taught me when I started at help desk. 70% of your job is going to be research. The other half is going to be you doing hands-on. So like literally like when they ask questions like that, when I used to ask questions like that, so you know what? Let me look up what these codes are and what the different things can
Dylan,
happen in those codes.
try it with the
Yeah.
pseudo. Try it with the pseudo.
Try it with the pseudo. All right. I was just about to ask you.
Go ahead, Shamika.
Oh yeah, I was saying like what those different codes are and what could be the reasons, different several reasons. One tool I found out by researching that, and I think I found it actually on Stack Overflow. Somebody was like, "Hey, download Postman.
Yeah,
Postman is good."
Postman is good. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So it's just stuff like that that just you just even just slightly just going and googling, you'll find out different names. Because chances are, if you've had that error, it's been other people that have had that same error or
Mhm.
something similar to it.
Mhm. Oh,
So,
yes. Almost. Okay. So now this error you are getting means that your credentials. So you just need to verify your credentials online. Let's look at your command, right? Your command you're running, right? So that has to do, right? So you need to verify your RDS endpoint, your RDS database name, and make sure you are using the right username and password. Your password, I won't be able to tell what your password is. So if we confirm the endpoint user DB username and DB name,
mhm.
then if we still getting that error, then it is your password. So
Uh,
sometimes
the,
people
the,
make that mistake. They always tell me the password is right, but then it's wrong password. So
but see, that can't be the case because I use the same password for the build image, and it
yeah,
and it
but it
and it
is not
went to
gonna face. It is not gonna fail when you are building the image, because at that point we are not, the build image is not verifying that your password is right. We are just uploading the password into the
okay. All right.
ENV
Well,
file. You understand what I mean?
shit,
So
I do understand what you mean.
yeah. So
So,
let's check your other ones to make sure those your endpoint, at least your endpoint, which I think those are right, is most likely your password. Most likely.
but you know how the other guy he was having hold on, let me just go to it. In the management console, he I have different kind of passwords. Let's see.
Did you store your
Mm,
password in Secret Manager?
I did,
But
but
no,
I always
but
put mine on a notepad.
okay.
I always put mine on a notepad. Right. Well, it's not here.
Look in your other notes, maybe it's somewhere else.
Uh, uh, uh,
If you have other personal password, don't share it, please.
okay, yeah,
Because
yeah.
your RDS password should not be in here. It should be just some random thing you create to just
Right.
complete the project. So close
Okay.
this credentials too. Right. So go back to that error, but we can end it here. But the thing is, you can create another RDS if you want. if you don't remember the password. Do you have any other password that you
No,
think
no,
you could have used? Right. So you can see here that
nah,
error. The thing is working. This error you are getting is your credentials. So I'm saying if your endpoint is right, your database name is right, and your database username is right. The only thing we can verify is your password because that only shows you the first time you create it. So we need to, if we can verify, so you can see password is saying current.
yeah, password, use password, yes. I see it.
Yeah, so I think it says access denied. So most likely it is the password.
Okay, all right.
So
So what do I have to change my DNS password for the
so you have to,
my RDS?
can you guess what other password you could have used?
Mm, yeah,
First,
I could
first,
guess.
first, let's verify that your username and all that stuff is right.
Okay.
So
All
go
right.
to your RDS, open a new tab and go to your RDS console.
RDS console. All right. Mm. You don't think it could be my secret access key, huh? Because I
No,
had two already,
no,
but I wound up getting another
no.
one. Okay, well,
So there's because
okay.
Flyway does not use in this, and that's something you can do a research on. That's a good question, right? So Flyway, when Flyway connects to your RDS instance, it doesn't use your secret access key. It's not connecting using CLI. It is connecting
Okay.
using the credentials of your database and security groups. So that is how your Flyway connects to your RDS. So it has nothing to do with your secret access key. So
Can
first,
he check his security groups as well and see if that might be an issue too?
yes, but yes, that would be the next thing we
Yeah.
check if we can verify that he's using
Yeah.
the wrong
Yeah.
the proper credential. So
Yeah.
your
This
password is
is.
not gonna show.
I know it ain't gonna show, but I know because I put it in here. Put it in right here. It's the same thing. Same thing I use for that one. I use for this one.
And you copy and paste it, right? Because I know how
Yeah,
sometimes
pretty much.
All right,
fat
all right.
fingers.
Pretty much.
Let's look at your security groups then. It could be your security group.
Mhm.
If you are certain that you are using this, and we need to verify your endpoint. Can we do that so we can just narrow it down? The only thing I
Okay.
can verify is your password. So
All right.
scroll, go to your connectivity and security. Right there, the tab you're on there.
Right here.
Mm-hmm. Copy your endpoint by clicking that box. All right, now go
Okay.
back to your command and press Control F and Control F and Control V in your Visual Studio Code. Control F,
Control F.
F as in Frank, yeah. Control V,
Yeah.
Control V. So you Control F. No, 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 no. Don't copy that. We're trying to verify what is in your console with what you have here. So when you press Control F, that is going to open that box. You're going to paste what you copied in there. So
Yeah,
can you
but
go?
it
You have
gave
to.
me this. It gave me this output over here.
You haven't pasted in there. So go and copy that command again, right? Go, not this one,
See,
in your console. Copy it from your console. You get what we are trying to do? We are trying to check that this endpoint here matches what you have in your command.
gotcha.
So Control F, you need to find, no, don't leave line 4 alone. Control F, right?
Just press Control F.
Mm-hmm.
Control F.
So make sure you remember this. This is part of your troubleshooting skills. Once you press Control F, it shows you that fine thing over there, right?
Yeah.
You want to paste what you copied from your console in there, in that box, where the .com, where the com is, because that was the previous thing you searched. That's why you are seeing that there. So you can remove that. Remove that.
All right.
And paste what you copied in there. You see what I'm saying? So when you paste it there, if you see it highlight on your document, then it means it is the right one. That's what we are trying to do.
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
Okay. Application DB. So let's do the same thing with your database name. I know it's right, but I just want you to get in a habit of doing that. So you would have to copy from your console and verify that it's the same one you are using in your.
All right.
So go to you'll find that information on your configurations tab. All right, so that will be data DB name. So copy that. All right. So in there, right, that first box. Remember, whatever you want to find on your document, you will paste it in that first box. So if you've pasted something in there before and you close it, the next time you press Control F to open it, it will show you whatever you paste in there previously. No, delete that and Control V. Okay, that matches. And your database username is Dylan. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the only thing we have to verify now is we've narrowed those down, is not those. The only thing I don't know, I can confirm is your password. But we can check your security groups next. Let's check your security group. Yeah, it's fine. Just go to, so click on your, scroll up here. Your connectivity, select the connectivity and security. And you can select the security groups there. That are that's, I want to see, review this one first. Select that. Yeah, your security, you see under security, select the database security group.
Selected. This is the default one. No, yeah,
No,
this
that's
is the
not the
default one.
No, it's not. It's just, it's your database security group. You can see down there. So click the box so we can see what security group is there. Select the inbound rule and the outbound rule. I scroll down.
It's the inbound rule.
So you can see on your inbound rule, you are not allowing any other thing to connect to your database. So scroll to the right, keep scrolling. So for that source, can you drag it out? Under that source, the line between source and description. Don't click there, just the line to drag it out so we can see the entire name. Okay. So you are allowing your data. I know for your database security group, you will need to also allow your server, database migrate server security group. Okay, on 3306. Okay, what's on your outbound? Your outbound rule. So you are missing one security group rule here. So you have to add that later on. But that is not affecting what you are doing now. Okay. Then go to security groups. Again, your security groups is there. Remove the filter for this database security group and find the security group for your server. Or you can go to your migration server and let's see what security group.
Which one you
So go
you
to
just
your
want me to go to my EC2?
yeah, go to your EC2. Let's do it out.
Clear?
You can open it a new tab, Claire, but
Oh,
you're not gonna see it here. Just open a new tab.
so,
Okay, this is it. Refresh. Select. Why isn't it giving you the info? No, don't connect to it. Just cancel. Scroll down and cancel. Okay, you can do that too.
connect to endpoint.
No, we are not connecting to it. Cancel. We are just trying to see the security group. Just cancel. Click cancel. You would have to drag your information thing up because it's down. That's why you can see. So you see the carrot thing over there is at the bottom. Move your mouse all the way to the bottom. Yeah, that one. Click the carrot. There you go. And select security tab. And select the security group right there. No,
All right.
select it. Don't copy. Select it.
Oh.
Scroll down. SSH jump out. Okay. All right. So what about your out? Okay, because you can connect to this one anyway. So database, data migrate server, copy that security group ID. The security group ID, copy. No, that's the rule ID. The security group ID is up.
Oh,
Move
yeah,
your
I'm
mouse
sorry.
up there. No, you're fine. All right, go to that your RDS and let's verify that it's the same security group. No, your RDS, the RDS security group we were in.
When the management console or
And the management console. The RDS one. The one we were just in. Or did you close it? That's fine. Just okay, yeah, just go to RDS service and there. I think it might be that first one. I think it's that first one. Yeah, that's it. So do Control F, Control V again. Control F and paste Control V to paste what you copied in there.
Control V.
All right, scroll down over here to your security group thing. Scroll down and drag that thing to the right. Or go on the inbound row. You're on the outbound. Go on the inbound.
And if it's highlighted when you did that control, you don't need to actually go up and use a cursor. You could just go ahead and control V
Yeah,
when it's
yeah. So
highlighted.
since it's not, I'm trying to still see if it's the same one. Scroll to the right. Because sometimes if it's not on the screen, it might not show you. Just keep scrolling.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same one. It's just, so if you do it again, it should show now. Can you, in that box where you found it, can you do the same thing again? It should show.
Control F or Control V?
Control V. Click in there and just press enter again. There you go. So it's the same one. The issue is your password. Your password is wrong. I'm telling you that I can confirm that 100% that it's your password.
Right.
So that flyway, just use, you just have to launch another RDS instance. Make sure your password is right? And then make sure you copy your password, put that password in that command. I guarantee you it's going to work. We verify your endpoint, your DB name, all that stuff is correct. Can you highlight? Yeah, all that stuff is correct. The only thing is your password that we can verify.
Well, I have I didn't copy my I save all my passwords, but
is there any other password you can guess that you think it might be?
Shit.
If you have your personal password in your thing, don't show it, please.
Yeah.
Or you can stop sharing and look for it.
I don't want to stop sharing because I don't want to mess up anything, but I'm just gonna do it all over again because I'm just gonna do it all over.
Yeah.
But when I do it all over, I'm talking about my RDS, and I'm gonna do the whole project all over, man. Because I'm pretty sure I use the same password.
Okay, so why not now just recreate your RDS password, right? Recreate your RDS password. I mean, recreate your RDS, then run this. Once you get your password, run this again. But the thing is, when you create a new RDS, right, use the same password as the one you are using now. So that way everything still stays the same. Then run that flyway command, then let me know what output you get after that.
All right, that'll work.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll work. All right. I'll put it in the Slack.
Okay, sure. All right, I gotta go because we're way over time. So everybody,
I appreciate it, AZ.
No problem. Everyone has already tapped out too. Yeah, I gotta go. All right, everyone.
All right.
Those that are still here, thank you for. Yeah, thank you.
Have a good weekend.
AZ,
All right, Shamika.
send me your email. AZ, send me your email so I can send you some more stuff for the government contract.
Okay, yeah, sure. I'll send it to you. Thank you so much. All right, no problem.
All right, everybody.